How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel for yous. So yes, as I mentioned, this live stream is about Graeme Jones. Since he's come into the club, has he improved the side? And it'd be great to get your thoughts on this as well. I'll give you my quick thoughts before I get a couple of people in who are waiting. So yeah, so my thoughts are, I think he really has. At least he's been given instructions out to the players so far, telling them where to go. And that's what we should be having. Not a manager who stands there with his hands in his pockets with that look on his face. That's to say, I cannot be arsed half the time. So, here we are. We'll get just a couple of some comments read out before we get some people in who are already waiting. Danny McConnell is a Man City fan, says hello. Hello, you keeping well? Right then, first we'll get into the live stream is David, so I'll get him in now. So here he is. How you doing?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, so hi. Welcome back to another stream.
Yeah.
Graeme Jones, what do you make of his appointments since he's come to the club? Do you think he's improved the side?
Yeah, you could say he's improved the side.
Yeah, I totally agree. What do you think he's done well?
Well, the instructions on the sidelines is just what I think. You know, he gives the arms around players and he gives you that lift.
Oh, he certainly does. I agree. What else? Do you like the way he's been instructing the players to make sure they're doing their job?
Yeah. I like the way that he's getting our players, and when they're not performing, he's screaming and shouting at them and telling them that they're not doing their jobs. Where Steve Bruce just stands back, hands in pockets, and he just looks on his faces, so like he's not bothered.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to read a couple of comments there before I get in another guest. And so, yeah, we've got Kieran Wenting. It says, good evening. I hope you're well, mate. Thomas 321 Law says, hi, PD. Hi, hope you're keeping well as well. Layman UFC, the players are playing for Graeme Jones, not Steve Bruce. Don't care what people like Luke Edwards say. I totally agree. You can tell they want to play more for Graeme Jones rather than the bloody cabbage head. Easily. And Valerie Brown says, hi, Pierre. Hi, Valerie. Hope you're keeping well. Right, next guest we'll get in, and it's Stephen from Geordie Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you make of Graeme Jones' appointment?
Well, I think it's been quite an inspired appointment myself. Just like he hadn't been in the club 3 days when he was appointed, and you could see him on the training pitch, showing the players with tactic sheets, showing them what position to play and what the roles are in the team, what they're supposed to be doing, defending, attacking. Some players just like that at times to just really say what they're supposed to be doing instead of being told what to do. I mean, you're saying against Everton, the way Graeme Jones was barking orders on the touchline, like telling players again just to be where they are, watch who's behind them, mark this, mark that. And he went to pot against Crystal Palace because he was sent to the stands because Bruce had spat his dummy out, which is by all accounts.
Yeah.
But you can tell there's been a real improvement since he's come in, and it's not down to Bruce at all. I'll have arguments till the end of the world with people who say it wasn't Jones who was orchestrated all that, because he's been influential. The players are like playing for him and not Bruce in a sense.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a fourth guest on already, and I do appear as a guest on his show every Monday, Paul Horseman. It's Paul from the Toon Review. How's it going, man?
Good evening, matey. How are you?
Hi, not too bad, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, well on the way to 1,000 subs.
Sorry, mate?
On the way to 1,000.
Not far off, yeah. Not far off. Fingers crossed it'll be shortly.
Yes, so Paul, as been chatting with the other guys, Graeme Jones since he's appointed, what do you make of it? And do you think he's really improved the squad lately?
Yeah, I do, and it certainly doesn't. It doesn't come from Steve Bruce. It just coincides with us picking up form when he's been appointed as a coach. So, for me, it's a no-brainer. He's definitely 100% got something to do with it. You see photos from the training ground of him with clipboards and having players around him. There's no doubt about it. I think everybody realizes it.
Oh, yeah, man, I totally agree. I mean, the good thing is he's been giving out instructions to the players rather than the idiot who just stands there with his hands in his pockets. It's like if he can't be fucking arsed or he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Which is clear he doesn't. You know as well as I do, and we all know that. He just, as soon as the camera pans to him, he's on the touchline with his hands in his pockets and that stupid pout on his face, and he doesn't have a clue. Yet Jones is the only one that's shouting at the players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, hopefully we'll see him back on the touchline on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, that time he got sent to was in the stands against Palace. I mean, that was a bit of force, that was.
Yeah, without a doubt. Liam NUFC sent you a comment there, Peter, asking what's with me wearing a Wimbledon shirt. Basically, my granddad used to be a massive Wimbledon supporter down there, so for a long, long time. So I've always followed Wimbledon since I was a little kid, just as like a second team because he was such a big fan of them. So I've always bought the shirts. He's passed away now, bless him, but that's why I still wear the Wimbledon shirts.
Read some more comments. Valerie Brown says, good thanks. That's good to hear. Welcome to the stream. Liam says, Tottenham Crystal Palace, our defeat against them makes it worse. Oh, that was a really frustrating game. I thought. I mean, took the lead and then we just let it slip away when we do our usual sit back and all that. And
look how easily Burnley beat them today, man. Look how easy Burnley beat them. And
I thought Palace were pissed the other day.
Oh, gosh,
you can tell they were one side as soon as the Hall doesn't play. Palace struggle back.
Totally agree, 100%. I just it just makes our result against them look laughable, really.
Oh, this is an interesting one from Liam. Probably for you, Paul. Would you go to an AFC Wimbledon game, even against Sunderland?
As long as Wimbledon beat them about 5-0, yeah. To be honest, I collect a lot of football shirts, like a lot of fans do. Anyway, just Wimbledon's got a little soft spot in my heart for obvious reasons. Especially now they've moved to the new Plough Lane as well. You know, after so many years of not having a home, and they've gone back to Plough Lane again. So, you know, it's just they've got a little soft spot in my heart for obvious reasons, family links and that. So, yeah, as long as they would hammer the scum, that would be fine by me.
Oh, well, fortunately, they did win 4-1 the day against Doncaster Rovers.
Who cares? Way down below us, man. Who cares?
That's the thing. Retro USC says, hey, lads. Hey, Jay, hope you're keeping well, mate. Hope to see you in the live stream sometime as well. What else do you make of what Graeme Jones has done well since he's appointed with the club?
Well, it's like I said, he give the players confidence. I mean, you could tell under Bruce, the confidence was shot. I mean, going into games with 5 at the back, playing defensive football. And as soon as he gets brought in, we absolutely deserve to beat Everton. We were fantastic. The closing down, I've never seen Newcastle close down so much in my life. In the game, we're just constantly pressing. That's what I've always said. To get on in games for Newcastle, you have to press the ball. We did that against Southampton, did that against Everton. Why this football been for the last 19 months under him? Like you say, I get comments say, just stood with his hands in his pockets. That tells you all you need to know, doesn't it? Graeme Jones is the manager. Steve Bruce, isn't he? Just stood with his hands in his pockets. not following instructions, out just stood there, hoping something will happen.
Oh, I mean, you were mentioning his dinosaur tactics as well, Stephen. I mean, you just tell the players had no confidence in him. But now you look when Jones has come in, the players feel a lot more confident and we're starting to play a lot more attacking football as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, even against Chelsea, I know we're going to be missing Callum Wilson, Cher, and Mankeo, but we still got a squad capable of getting something at Chelsea. It's not like there will be a big mess, of course they will, but we can still get something there. We play the right formation, the right players, even bring Fraser back in. Sam Max on the left, even Mickey up front. I know it's not his natural position, but Fraser on the right, Mickey up front, and San Maximan on the left. Play that kind of formation. Willock in the middle.
You went for that, Paul, didn't you? Like Miggy's a false nine.
Yeah, like still plays. I mean, if you look at the way he played against Southampton, and he was playing in the false 10, false 9 role because he had Wilson on the right hand side and St. Maximin on the left. That's the formation that they started with. So, it's not like it'll be an unknown position to him. He's used to playing there. That's his role. And I'm sure, playing a number 10 or a false 9, there isn't much difference between the two. So, he may play Gale. Yeah, well, not a false 10, no. he may play Gale. My worry is he's going to play Joe Linton, and I think that's what we're all worried about.
Yeah. Well,
Joe Linton's injured.
Injured?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. Apparently, according to David, it said on the One Football app, apparently he's picked up an injury. So,
how the hell has Joe Linton picked up an injury?
He picked up an injury. He's picked up an injury in training.
How do you pick up an injury grazing in a field eating grass? It's impossible. Seriously. Away.
Honestly, he's injured.
I'm not having it. Like he's injured. He hasn't injured himself on a football field anyway.
I've said I'd go with Dwight Gale because I think we could do with that bit of pace. If this is going to be his last season with the club, maybe see what he can do.
You might be right, Peter. You might be right. He might go with Dwight Gale simply because of he's a striker and he's an out-and-out striker. Like Callum Wilson is an out-and-out striker as well. But I just think Dwight Gale. I mean, he does score goals against Chelsea, man. You have to say that. So but he might. I mean, I play. If that Joe Linton thing is true and he's injured, then thank God for that. You know what I mean? I mean, as long as he can't play, him and Hendrick off the pitch, it puts us at a bonus, really.
Well, I'm glad Hendrick's not going to be available because I don't know what the lad offers.
No,
nothing.
But you can guarantee you'll be playing against Man United.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well,
Honestly.
just small comments. Lewis EFC says hello. Liam says, someone take over their fans think about Premier League already.
Hey, get in. You know what it is? This Sunderland one has been going on as long as ours. I think it's just, I mean, wasn't it like a 5-year-old child came out a few months ago from Canada and said he was buying the club or something? I mean, let's take it with a pinch of salt. I don't think, like ours really, I don't think, until anything's announced, that I would take it with a pinch of salt like every other takeover.
I think a lot of Sunderland fans are doing that, just playing it cautiously, and just waiting until they hear something about it. The only thing is, apparently this new bloke is apparently richer than Mike Ashley.
Well, that won't say now because it doesn't matter anyway. It depends what his plans are for the club, really. Mike Ashley's loaded and he doesn't spend a penny on us. So,
this is a funny one from Liam. He says, "Who would you rather have, Joe Linton or Gareth Harris? If you've seen the film Gold, you know who I'm talking about." Yeah, I've seen the movie.
God, really? I'd rather have bloody Rolf Harris. Seriously. I know Rolf's not a good person, but I'd rather have him up front to Joe Linton.
I mean, I've seen the film Goals, and I think they're great. They're really, really good to watch.
You know, I've never seen them.
Oh, have you not seen them?
I've never seen them.
You missed there, Paul.
I don't know why I haven't. I've never got around to watching them.
Purely Belter. That's one of my favourite football movies. If anyone's
Purely
seen
Belter. Yeah.
What when they nick the penalty spot?
Oh. Aye. I don't know if I've asked you, David. Who would you play up front on Monday against Chelsea?
Well, I've said up at ages that we should. If I were playing three, I would play Fraser on the left, Mickey on the right, and ESM in the middle.
A lot of people have been seeing ASM in the middle, but I think
I know you're playing Miggy and ASM out of position. That's the problem. And we've been screaming all season to put Miggy in the number 10.
Rightful position. He's positioned on the left, waiting, causing more danger for the opposition. He's no good as a striker. He's been played there alongside Wilson before, and he's been so ineffective. He's had to go back out to his usual position because he hasn't affected the game in any way. So I would leave ASM on the left where he's going to cause problems.
Right.
Yeah.
I just keep the three that we've got now, Peter. To be honest, you know the three there: Fraser, ASM on the wings, and Miggy through the middle. And you know we've got Willock now as well. Don't forget we've got Willock, who's a midfielder who will now drive into the box, and we haven't had one of them players for a long time. So technically speaking, we got a 4, and we can play 2 defensive midfielders with Willock. So we've still got 2 holding back, and Willock can join the front 3 to make it a 4.
Lawrence from the Geordie View says, I avoid goal 3. It's absolutely hideous, and that's being kind. I've actually not seen goal 3. Actually. I've seen the 2. Liam in USA, England winning the World Cup ruins goal 3.
I've never seen goal 3 because like you said there in the comment, it looks like they ruined it. 1 and 2 are great movies. 1 and 2, just 3 I think is being ruined. Like
I'll have to watch these. I'll have to watch them.
You'll have
Liam
to.
in USA. I'm just going to read Liam's comment. Peter's thought Nick DeMarco mentioned us on his tweet, and he hardly mentioned us. Well, I know you just said before, Liam.
I like goal 1 and 2.
This is Nick tweet on Twitter. What is it again? Kieran Maguire tweeted on. I'm going to have to buy you a drink or 2 when we are finally allowed back in the pubs.
Okay, yeah, we're going to take a talk.
That was a tweet from Nick DeMarco.
To Kieran Maguire, the journalist.
Apparently so, yeah.
He's a Mackham.
Oh.
He's a Sunderland fan. So it's not talking about our takeover.
Oh, Christ.
Kevin Maguire's a known massive Sunderland fan, the journalist. If that's who he's talking about. So that might just... that's obviously the Sunderland takeover. Oh, crap. That would be just typical, wouldn't it? Nick DeMarco a few months ago, our saviour, and then suddenly he's in the sort of legal team to get Sunderland taken over. That would just be typical, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it would be. I wonder.
Christ.
Oh, evening, it's Sharky Toonami TV. Evening. How you doing? Hope to see you in the stream at some point. Great to have you on. There was a comment from Archer, but it won't come up on StreamYard.
Wow.
To Jolin, obviously.
Is that not because Sharky's banned off you? Not Sharky. Archer's banned after his last comment.
He says, I believe Jolin is playing with his nipples and his crack while on the bench singing Pinky Wink.
Oh man, he's such a legend, isn't he? Oh god. I mean, anybody that makes you spit your drink out live on a show, Peter, you know, that takes some doing that. Like,
Well, I'm going to bring another guest in. So, so David, do you mind if I ask if you don't mind leaving so I can get Lawrence in?
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Thanks very much for coming in, David. And you've got a channel now, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's a Dave McGahan NUFC TV.
Yeah.
Feel free to subscribe to him, David. Thank you very much for coming in. And I will bring in Lawrence from the Geordie. Here he is.
Hello.
How you doing, Lawrence?
All right. How are you guys?
All right.
So, Lawrence.
Yeah.
What do you make of Graeme Jones's appointment since he's been in the club? Do you think he's improved the team?
Could say so, maybe. Because the players have got a lot more belief in themselves. Last few weeks, well, since I'd say since halftime against Leeds.
What else do you think he's done well as well?
Ooh. Well, might just helped out Steve Bruce, really.
I mean, he gives out instructions other than like the idiot who just stands there, hands in his pockets.
Aye.
Do you think we could get something against Chelsea on Monday night?
Maybe, if depends what sort of Chelsea team turn up. But then again, we're gonna have to be on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they've been brilliant in the last couple of games.
Aye.
I thought Sheffield United weren't impressive. I thought at Barnsley, was much better side.
Oh yeah.
So
I just hope Rudiger plays on Monday night, Peter, because I think
he's a liar.
he's farcical. He is. I mean, not just the Sheffield United own goal, but just honestly, he reminds me of a poor man's Marcelino. You know what I mean? Just like he's just his awareness around him just isn't there. You know, Chelsea when they've got like Thiago Silva and Kurt Zuma alongside each other look a lot better in defence than they do with Rudiger. I mean, that own goal was a farce. Like,
I mean, what was he doing there? I mean, God Almighty,
unbelievable, unbelievable.
Sharky says, StreamYard has banned Archer.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I mean, so the comments he was coming up on Monday were just hilarious. I spit me drink out.
You know what it is? When I see Archer's name come up on the comments on Monday, it was like I have to quickly read through them before I put them on the screen because I'm thinking, God, if he puts something up that I'll end up getting wrong off YouTube.
Well, Liam says, talking of Joe Linton, is John trying to get that big money move for him?
Well, good luck, John.
Have you watched any of John's last few streams? I mean, I know you were on last night for a long time.
I was on his last year.
3.5 hours, man. Jesus. I mean, that bloke can talk. He should be in Parliament, man. Honestly. Like, he did a Q&A the night before, and everybody was just popping in questions about, you know, when are you writing a book about Joe Linton and when you starting your ASMR channel on Joe Linton and everything like that. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Sean Patrick Lynch says, hi, Paul.
Hi, Sean. Hope you're well, mate.
Shai says, if Bruce goes 4-3-3 against Chelsea, we will get ripped to shreds. He said he'd go more 4-2-3-1. What do you think about that?
I agree.
I agree as well, but I don't think he will. And that's the problem. Steve Bruce, isn't it?
Well, as long as it's not 5 at the back he guns with.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think 4-2-3-1 is our best formation. Sharky said that for a long time. You've said it, Peter. I've said it. I think it's our best formation, and that's what we should go for. But exactly, he's got the exact players to do it, but he won't. I don't think he will.
Even though he was using it a lot last season. Liam says Chelsea got lucky against Barnsley. I think I agree.
I didn't see the game, Peter. I just went off what you said on your.
I mean, honestly, I thought Barnsley were a much better side.
Yeah, did Barnsley have 14 shots to Chelsea 6?
Did Chelsea change the team much?
Pepper in goal. they had Abraham starting.
You know, Ziyech was in, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Two choices. Please don't go 5 at the back. I totally agree. Jonathan Young. To answer your main question, Pierre, yes, Graeme Jones is responsible for our turn up in performances. Yes, so you all will. Well, then I'm going to bring in Sharky. So, Stephen, do you mind if I let Sharky in, if that's okay?
Yeah.
You've got it, Stephen. Where can they find you?
Jody YouTube.
Everything
No problem. Feel free to subscribe to Stephen's
that
channel,
means
Geordie.
we're
See you later, Stephen.
Stephen, and I'll bring in. Let's bring in Sharky.
Evening, lads.
Hey.
I'm still alive. Hello.
So, Sharky, what do you make of Graeme Jones' appointment since he's been at the club? Think he's improved the team?
I think he has, but
Michael, you back on?
I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on it. Like we have played better. Like I can't take that away from Graeme Jones, and I can't take that away from the lads. But we had to win the games eventually because we couldn't continue that losing streak. Otherwise, we are in deep trouble. At the minute, we're 17th, but we're 10 points clear of obviously the drop. I'm not concerned like by being 17th at all. You know, unless Fulham go on some mad run. But I think Graeme Jones, he's definitely tweaked a few things like in the formation and obviously the attitude of the players, getting further up the pitch, and we're actually looking more of a threat. But not only that though, like I think ASM's been a big reason why we've done so well in recent games, because you got to remember back against Everton, the assist, for Callum Wilson, for that second goal, the all important goal, and then you got the 2 assists against Southampton, the one for Joe Willock and the one for Miguel Moron as well. So I think ASM's a big reason why we've turned fortunes around.
Oh yeah, I mean I totally agree. And at least he gives he's been given the instructions, unlike the idiot who just stands there, hands in his pockets.
Oh,
as if he's kind of...
I seen it in the last game. Like Jones was doing a few hand gestures, and Steve Bruce was just like walking away. Like you're meant to be the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Peter,
Mm-hmm.
if you look over my shoulder,
yeah,
SpongeBob hair has gone.
Oh, is that your son? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've shaved him.
I might have to go down that route soon, man. Look at my hair.
Oh, Sharky's getting a bit longer, mate.
I know. I'm not used to this, mate. I get a haircut once a month, and that's not even the case now. Now it's open.
Did you never try it yourself?
Yes, I did try it myself, and I failed. I failed miserably.
Oh, you nearly went Al Bald, didn't you?
Aye. Well,
Mickey Alvaro the second, yes.
That also happened at Archer one time. He got pinned to a chair, and they shaved pretty much all his hair and down the sides of his beard.
Hey, talk about initiations. I went to when I was playing ice hockey. We went to play down at Nottingham, and this lad had just signed for us. And as initiation at the end of the match, there was a crucifix made out of 2 hockey sticks, and he was just about to jump in the shower, right? And loads of lads like got a hold of him and actually taped him up to the crucifix. Right?
Oh,
and there to be a public skating session on after the match. So there was about 80 people skating around Nottingham Ice Rink, and we carried him up to the steps, out of the dressing room, up the steps, and slid him along the ice. And he just happened to stop in the middle of the ice, just in a crucifix taped up to 2 hockey sticks, and he couldn't move. It was, bless him. Funny enough, he left 2 weeks later. He only played 1 game for us. But yeah, it's good fun, man.
Did he leave for that reason?
His parents weren't very happy, put it that way. And I think he didn't really see eye to eye with a lot of the lads. So I think he went to Billingham, somewhere close anyway. But yeah,
I've just noticed your top is that AFC Wimbledon? I could be wrong.
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is.
My granddad, I was a big fan. So I've always sort of had a soft spot for Wimbledon.
Are they sponsored by Football Manager? Is that Football Manager there?
Yeah. But I've just started collecting loads of football strips, to be honest. I've got like loads of non-league ones like Durham and Spennymoor and everything. I just thought
that's good. help the non-league sides out.
Hey, look, I've got the old,
Yeah.
I've got the old England top on.
Have you seen Port Vale's home strip?
Whose?
Port Vale, the black and white one. It's like they've got black and white V's all the way. It's immaculate. It's really nice strip. If you've got a chance, have a look at it later online. I'm thinking about getting one of them just because
if I use any different football shirt on my channel, they'll probably all unsubscribe. They'll think I'm not a Newcastle fan.
I know, but if you're a big football fan and you like football strips, you know what I mean. You'll buy them. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I like them. You know.
Liam says he thinks
I've got a gated shirt from 6 years ago.
I've got a gated one as well. Liam says he thinks Fulham will get something against Everton and Burnley. I think Everton.
It's possible.
Tell you what, the way Burnley played today, I think, I know Crystal Palace were awful, but you've got to remember Burnley have got all their injured players back now, and they are starting to pick a lot of points up.
Love him as a manager, mate. Sean Dyche. Honestly, I think he's so underrated.
Tremendous.
I'm passionate.
I think Everton will just have too much for Fulham. I think.
you say that Liverpool came unstuck the day against Leicester. I know it's Leicester. I know it's on a different scale, but still.
Did you watch it?
No, I'm watching the match of the day. I'll catch it in about an hour.
Like Leicester's equaliser, the free kick from Maddison. I mean, you know this offside rule, how it just baffles us all constantly on a weekly basis. This is another one because I think Klopp came out after the game and said that the stoppage where the VAR referee has looked at it was before Maddison kicked the ball. So he is technically onside then, but when Maddison kicks the ball, I think he's offside. So
VAR is so confusing, I think.
It is. It's bizarre.
I don't get it. The thing is as well, they've got the benefit of what's it called, Stockley Park. I mean, they're not half the time they're not even using that now. Last season they were so quick to go to it until they're like, oh no, go and check your monitor.
But this went to Stockley Park. They disallowed it. They disallowed the goal originally, and then they went and looked at it again, and then they gave it.
Leicester's obviously paid them.
Use the monitor like UEFA do, FIFA did in the World Cup. Use that instead of Stockley Park.
Yeah. Just bizarre.
Liam says, as you collect shirts, will you collect a Sunderland shirt?
No. No.
Oh, Liam, man. Jesus Christ.
No chance.
No, the best thing to do for a Sunderland shirt is use it as a toilet paper.
I wouldn't collect like another English shirt unless it was like non-league. I wouldn't go and like get no one else. I mean, everyone's different, I suppose, but like foreign tops and stuff, like like a Benfica. I like Benfica. You say I kind of fell in love with them a little bit after our game in the Europa League. I quite like them as a club. I think they're very well supported. I've got a few clubs I like over in Europe, but each to their own, I suppose. But it is good to collect tops.
I would only get lower league ones. I wouldn't get like any rival tops or anything like that. I like. There's quite a lot of lower league teams in the like League 1 and 2 who've got some lovely shirts, and I like them. And League ones, you know what I mean. But I wouldn't get anywhere like rival shirts. Not a chance. Sunderland's for toilet roll, fair enough if you're desperate, but nothing like you know what I mean.
Desperate, that'd be expensive. They're charging £40 for them tops. It's expensive. That for roll.
Ridiculous. A lot of people get them from China now, aren't they? So
absolutely.
Unfortunately, they make my size because they're all little people in China, so they don't like have 6'5",
Well,
go on. Ada Hepburn says the Liverpool keeper's making some mistakes lately. Well, he totally has.
Defense, though, their defense is all over the place.
You see the mistake he made today when you watch it back, honestly.
Oh, I will. I get that, but I'm just saying that they bought some guy in from Schalke, and where's Schalke in the league? Bottom.
Yeah, apparently he was at fault for Polly, the second goal as well.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
Alisson cleaned him out.
But the thing is, are Liverpool like trying to make an error where they weren't even making errors last season of getting in so like poor players that aren't even like better than what they are? You know what I mean? They need Van Dijk back quickly.
Alisson had cold feet again.
They need Van Dijk back quickly.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
I don't think injuries have helped him.
Thiago's not lived up to the hype.
He hasn't. He came on after, I think Milner got injured after about 17 minutes today, and Thiago came on. He didn't do nothing. Lawrence is right. He's just. I mean, whether it's it's like the likes of Werner and the other lad from Germany who came across. I keep forgetting his name.
Havertz.
They've struggled to adapt to the pace and the physicality, and whether we'll probably see the best of them next season because I'm a big Timo Werner fan.
You say that. I know Havertz is not playing, but we might make Werner look fantastic on Monday.
I know. Well, yeah, I know.
You say that.
You forget we're playing them on Monday.
Like Werner, I hope he doesn't, but if Werner scoring 5, honestly, it would just be our luck.
Yeah. Samuel J. ASS says best league in the world, but we'll have the worst referees in it. I think I totally agree on that. There's been some stinking referees we've got in this league.
Do you know who I watched the other day, and I don't know whether you guys will agree with me, right? But I watched John Moss, right? And I was watching the game, and I thought he can't keep up with play. He looks a stone and a half overweight, and he's finding it very difficult to keep up with the play. And I know other fans have said that, but I just watched him the other night, and I thought, do you know what? They're right. He's got a proper belly on him, and he just doesn't look fit enough to referee.
Well, he's 50 years old as well.
Yeah. The thing is with these referees, there's a lot of young ones coming through from the Championship and stuff. You're seeing them get like debuts in the Carabao Cup, and then they get a few games. I think Darren England was refereeing tonight for the Brighton Villa game, and I think that was only his 8th ever Premier League game that he's officiated. But I think sometimes, and I'm not sticking up for them, they're not helped by those around them, especially like the VAR centre as well. Like you go make the decision, we're not too sure, but they're meant to be there for the next resort if something goes wrong, like the last resort. They don't help themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's
that Souček sending off though by Mike Dean the other week at Fulham. Mike Dean went to the monitor and watched that for about 10 minutes, and he still sent them off. You could tell the bloke was just trying to move his arm out the way because he was just, him and Mitrovic were jostling. Mitrovic even went over and said it wasn't deliberate. He still sent them off.
Question is though, was he pushed to make that decision though by VAR the centre? Do you know what I mean? Difficult, isn't it? Everybody's getting spoken in his ear.
The thing is, you hear in rugby and cricket, the fans get to hear what is said between the third umpire or whatever it is, or the referee in the stands. With rugby, you can hear what's being said. But with football, this is where football goes wrong again. We don't get to know what's being said.
Do you know what, though? You can't even, in the Premier League now, you can't even, touch someone. You can't even breathe on them. Otherwise, if you do, they'll go down like a sack of spuds. Next minute, your player's being sent off. So defenders can't defend anymore. They're not allowed to do anything. Players are not allowed to do what they're expected to do in the game. Do you know what I mean? It gets a little bit boring. Because any tiny little decision that goes against you, there you go, yellow card, then next minute, you're off. It's crazy.
Dave says Premier League is the most overrated league, I think. I think lower league is better to watch. Well, I would say more of non-league. They like to play for the bag. They like to play for the club. When you look at a lot of these Premier League players, they're just in it for the money. Half of the bloody time is.
Yep.
Some the players that are wages here again are absolutely ridiculous half the time from what I
love non-league. Me, I absolutely love non-league.
I want to go non-league for non-league games when battlegrounds.
Yeah,
I'm going to call you guys when the lockdowns are. I'm going to come and
come along, man. Get yourself to Newcastle, Benfield.
Just jump on the train, come through you guys, and then I'm only in Durham. You know what I mean? So I just hop on a train or in a metro, and then I'm there. You know what I mean? It's I'm looking forward to it.
Watch the women play as well.
Yeah, what would be a good thing actually? Watch Newcastle women away a Durham team.
Durham women are doing well actually this season. The Durham ladies are doing.
Shouldn't have the game called off against Leicester this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow here, so.
We went to watch Durham Newcastle women against Durham at the sports in Long Benton, and I thought
the one ground I'm avoiding in the northeast, really.
We were there and we was like watching a football match behind a bloody cage.
I literally, I can't even believe I wasted my money on that. What was I thinking? And I even walked it as well.
You two rowdy buggers walking in and thought, oh Christ, Proudlock and Sharky here, we're putting the cages up.
I literally actually walked it. I wouldn't normally walk as often like these sort of games, but I did just for exercise. I thought, what was the point?
Yeah.
And it says, I cannot stand women commentators. It's all about diversity.
No, for me, a lot of them do talk sense. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't mind some
women
that go on there.
I'll probably rate Alex Scott over a lot of
really good
pundits on the BBC.
I like it when you can just mix it around a little bit. Like, yes, it's the men's game, but like the women's game, there's men like commentators. There's There's, you got men officials and stuff, refereeing women's games. For me, it doesn't matter.
No.
The thing is, you know what I've always said as well. They were talking about the woman at Chelsea. I forgot her name now. The Chelsea manager. Oh, it was she got linked with EFC Wimbledon.
She was linked with the Wimbledon job. I read about that. Yeah.
Why not? Like, why can't it? I mean, fair enough if she was saying, "Oh, I'm on more money at Chelsea," which is fair enough. Yes, she will be because it's Roman Abramovich. But the thing is, women managers should actually step into the men's game. I don't see why not. But then, they talk about, oh, well, if if men dominate, men dominate a dressing room, and the women might. But it doesn't matter. Like, just give them a chance.
Well, that old England. Sorry, Pete. The old England manager before Phil Neville took over.
Paul Powell.
Yeah, she could have done a job. I've got no doubt about it.
It's great manager.
I got us to the Euro 2009 final.
She did.
Yeah. Well, this is the next comment from Liam. It says, "Do you believe Steve Bruce got death threats?" Well, I seen your video about this, Paul, and you said about it. If they have done it, the fans are scumbags. But you're thinking, why is like Alex Bruce not going straight to the police, and he's talking about it on a radio show?
That was my point, and that's why I made the video yesterday, because I got out of bed, I went downstairs, and I was sitting having a cup of tea, put my phone on, looking through Twitter, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Newcastle United fans here again, absolutely slaughtered, and we're not like that. That's not who we are. You know what I mean? There's going to be a 2% of every fan base in the country who have these people that send stuff behind the keyboards or the phones and think that you get away with it. Social media, yes, they need to do a lot more about it as well. But the fact is, why not? If any of your family or my family or Lawrence's family, Sharky's family got death threats, what would you do? You'd go straight to the police. And it doesn't matter how famous you are. You're still getting death threats. And somebody tweeted me saying, oh, the police don't take it seriously. They damn well do take death threats seriously. My dad used to be a policeman, so I know damn well that they do. So that the fact he went on the radio, and I was annoyed with Jim White as well, but then the whole talk sport thing, But, I said my piece on it yesterday. I did the video because I wanted to stick up for the fan base. I was just fed up with what I was reading.
I'm starting to lose a little bit of respect for him, actually, as well. I used to really like him, but now I can't listen to him anymore. I can't. Not since the whole, the takeover was going to happen. All of a sudden, it didn't happen. And then he's blocking the fans from, making comments on TalkSport. I think at the end of the day, we're well and within rights to say something back. If something's getting said about the fan base and the club, of course, we're allowed to say something back. You can't just lock the comments like that.
But the thing is, Bruce or Jim White?
Well, both of them. But if the fact is, if my fiance or my children were given threats like that, I'd go to the police. After I'd been to the police, I'd then hunt them down myself. But that's beside the point. You just don't do that in life. You do not do that. You protect your family, and you don't go on a radio station, on a national radio station, and kick off about it. But the fact is, the matter is, whether they've been said or not, I want to see some proof. Where's the proof of them coming out and saying, this is what I've received? And then we can all say, that's disgraceful. That shouldn't happen. And things like that. But he said on that radio show that the worst he got, the worst comment that came in was that they wished Steve Bruce had died of COVID, right? That's not a death threat. As disgusting as it is, I'm not saying it's not, but that is not a death threat. And if that's the worst he's got, then if he's classing that as a death threat, did he really get them? But on the flip side of that, if he did get them, it's filthy, it's disgusting, it's abhorrent, whatever you want to call it. But the whole thing is just being stirred up by Bruce in his press conferences again. He's done this before, and he'll do it again.
The problem is as well, we've gone on the radio station. Maybe they're just trying to, big it up a little bit more so the world are finding out what the fans are like. Even though we have it, even the half the fans, even majority of fans have probably never said anything, and we don't know these keyboard warriors. We don't know what they're about and why they're doing it and stuff. But that they're all taking advantage of the pandemic, to try and get at each other. And I didn't get it. The whole hate on social media at the minute, it's just ridiculous. It's not just happening. It's not just happening. The thing is, right? It's not just happening to Steve Bruce. It's happened to Arteta as well. If you listen to his press conference, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I've seen little bits, and he mentioned that he got threats as well. And then players are getting, racially abused and stuff. For me, it's not acceptable.
It's not. But the thing is, Arteta said it about the Arsenal. But Arsenal didn't. The media didn't pull their fans through the mud like they've done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean, Shark? It's just not on.
Yeah.
We're not like that. We are. I think we are well respected fans across the UK.
Paul, that's why they put Alex Bruce on TalkSport to try and make what we look bad. Whereas, we're obviously, they're making them look Ari. But the thing is, as you said, we're not like that as a fan base. We're the most up close, up front fan base. You'll know, we'll always chat to people. We're not like that. You know what I mean? It's just
He said 1 week earlier that he was getting bags of fan mail, wishing him well, saying he was doing a fantastic job.
Still makes me laugh at this.
You can't have it both ways.
Still makes us laugh at.
We're not stupid people, you know what I mean?
Tell you what, I would have got you this weekend for Valentine's Day. You know what I mean?
Sure. He'll have 2 sacks full at the door tomorrow with, oh, we love you, Steve. We love you.
Exactly. After what's been said this weekend, plenty of Valentine's Day notices.
Joe Linton will get a bag full anyway off John.
I hope we could see John in the live stream. I said he was welcome to come in.
I'll leave now. I'll continue watching the football, but I'll let you chat. But it's been good to catch up here, lads.
No problem,
Nice,
Shouty.
man.
Thank you very much.
See you there, lads. What are we doing? Stay safe, man.
Please do subscribe to Toonami TV as well. Help him on the way. He's on the way to 3,700, which is his next step. Samuel says rugby referees need to train the Premier League referees.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? Because but what the difference is, the rugby players have respect. They've got respect for the referees, and that's something that's drilled into them from a young age. It's what football is a different animal, if you like.
I mean, I've seen where rugby's played. Liam says the Premier League is turning into the La Liga. If Barcelona don't win it, Real Madrid does. And if Man City don't, it will most likely be Liverpool. Well,
Atletico are probably going to win it this year.
Exactly. Atletico,
maybe Atletico, the Chelsea.
Yeah, but it'll change again. I mean, we a few years back we all used to say, "Oh, Man United are winning everything," and Chelsea came along, start winning everything. Man City have come along, start winning anything. Who knows? We might get a takeover and start winning everything. You just don't know what's around the corner, do you?
No, definitely not.
Right, Peter, I'm going to duck out, mate, because I'll let somebody else get on if they're coming on, but I'll duck out.
No problem. Cheers very much, Paul. Please do subscribe to the Toon Review. He's on the way to 1,000. He's not far away. Help him there. He's almost there.
Thanks, mate. Take care. See you later, Lawrence.
See you, man.
Lawrence, we'll just read some comments. Anna Heben says referees were dreadful in the championship. Oh, I thought a lot of them was absolutely stinkers.
Because
that was back to when we played Nottingham Forest at their place.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a nightmare.
Referee, I think Steve Martin was called.
Yeah.
He sent Shelby off, who barely even touched Lansbury, and then he sends Dummett off for a barely touch on Lansbury. I mean, God Almighty.
Aye.
David McGahan says, had NUFC says Sharky lockdown AI. Sharky has grown at the minute.
You know what I'm thinking? With the way he has been to us lately, I'm thinking I've probably pulled enough hair out so I don't have to get a haircut when the barbers reopen.
Anna Heben says there's actually a women referee in La Liga.
What?
It's interesting. Liam in UFC, every club has idiots. Or
yeah,
either do, yeah. Ada says this the week before Bruce was saying he got fan mail, so make it as you will. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's getting one thing and then something else has been mentioned, and you're thinking, what is to. Ada Heben says, will Joe Linton play on Monday? I hope he doesn't. Well, according to David, he said he's picked up an injury. Well, we'll wait and see. But Joe Linton just fills me with absolute zero confidence whatsoever. Shotty says, thanks, PS. Stay safe, lads. Yeah, no problem. Thanks very much for coming in. You as well, man. As I said, please do subscribe to Toonami TV. He's well on the way to get up to 4,000. He's just on over 3,600. Well, it looks like I am about to bring another guest, and he is part of the Four Horsemen show on a Monday, and he does get hammered with loads of things about Joe Linton. Yes, here he is. Let's get him. It's John.
Hey,
Sinclair,
John.
everyone. How
Hey,
you doing?
I'm doing, lads. Sorry, just a man from the last league. Yeah, I'm okay. How are you guys?
Aye.
All good, man. Thank you very much for
Aye.
coming in.
Sorry.
Yeah, so John, welcome to the live stream. Graeme Jones, what do you make of his appointment, and do you think he's improved the side so far?
Do you know what it is? I mean, definitely. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I mean, when he came in, he's told Bruce to play 4-3-3, and it's worked a treat, and it's worked a treat. And the players who listened to him, they play the stuff, and it's worked a treat. And won 2-0 and 4-3-3, and everyone's happy as a number 10 role, and they had to step up.
At least the players want to play for him. Unlike Cabbage, who just stands there with his hands in his pockets as if he doesn't give a crap half the time and has that look on his face as to say, I cannot be arsed half the time.
I think about it is, I mean, like I said, he's teaching Bruce how to play football properly. And he's so, the thing with Bruce, he thinks like that, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I'm on a manager here, sort of thing. And as long as he's getting us all out of the gun, and I've always done that. But at the end of the day, I'll take Graeme Jones anytime as manager at the end of the season. And then what can you do? But Steve Bruce looks so straight, he's not happy. And oh man, I think he needs to go because
I totally agree. I mean, he's not the man for the job here.
Oh, I know. And I'll tell you what as well. I mean, the players aren't doing it for Bruce, but I'm hearing, I could be wrong on this, but he's going to play 5 at the back again, you know, against Chelsea.
I would not be surprised. I've got a feeling he will, unfortunately.
This is the thing, though, Lauren. Why are you going to play 5 at the back? Well, we're 10 points from the drop zone in a minute. Okay, I don't want to be finishing 17th. But why go out there?
5 at the back doesn't work.
It doesn't. How many games have you won playing 5 at the back? It's been proved time and time again. Sheffield United away. Come on, away. Doesn't work, man. It does not work. That means for me, he's going to play for a draw. He's such a negative manager. If I was Graeme Jones, I'll think to myself, hang on a minute, why am I here? I'll be better off stopping at Bournemouth.
Well, just going to read through some more comments. He says, to not be don't rule Leicester City out well in that top 4, so they've got a chance for possibly.
By the way, lads, full time from Amex Brighton 0, Aston Villa 0. Just let you know.
That one's finished this score
draw.
Yeah,
Brighton should have won.
Yeah, they were the better side a lot of the time. Shai says, Lawrence, lockdown hair. I know you have to have that current style of yours. Shai says, Joe Linton better not start on Monday. Oh, please no, please no.
Oh, man. Please no. Why no? I tell you, I wouldn't play him again. Because I'll tell you what, this guy, honestly, I had someone on the tweet a day, right? He seems a good lad. He goes, if he's on a new manager, would you give him a chance? I say no. Send about it, man.
I mean, he's just, he doesn't fill you for any with confidence. Paul says, thanks for having me on, Pierre, anytime, man. Please subscribe to Paul at the Toon Review. He's on the way to 1,000. Help him out. He really appreciate it. He really would. He says, oh, sure. He says, John Jolin, how's it going, mate? Oh, God. It started already.
Oh, no. And I'm doing on, 2 minutes of that? Look, I'm getting great. I mean, I've done me 2 live streams today. I spoke to Chelsea Van, which I think is decent. Fantastic. And I've done my combined 11 today. And I did quarters down my combined 11. And I might be a little bit biased, but I'll just pick the players on form, not by the name. It has to be on form. I mean, Werner, I did pick Werner because he has got, 4 goals in 22 games. And he has had a good season at the minute, but he'll come good.
Yeah, Ada says, was Lawrence on Newcastle Fans TV? You weren't part of them, but you used to be on a lot of their fan cams and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul's there, the legend that is John.
Hey! Woo!
Shai says, well there, said Paul. He said, John, how's the ASMR channel?
What was the ASMR channel? What does ASMR stands for?
Oh, it's people do that very like sound where it's like whispery, or it's like it sounds very quiet.
Yeah. I get ya. Get you, man.
He said, John, bite your Jordan's fight. What's pulsing up? Get that iron. Oh God.
Get on it. Rack it on it, baby.
Get that oil rubbed into Johnny's injured and needs your attention. Oh God, what was starting there?
Oh man. What am I letting myself in for, man?
John
got Tom Rice on my chat as well, man.
John, you're a legend.
Nah, thanks very much indeed. Salute there.
Paul's now saying you need to live stream the Joe Linton massage, John.
Hey! If you speak English, I'll talk to him and I have a word of him, but until then, I can't speak German. But, no, I was going to say, I mean, got 2 more streams to do tomorrow.
John, instead of John Sinclair, it should be John Joe Linton fan. Lol. John Joe Linton, John Slow. Oh God, that can't spot that comment on Monday. With oh God.
Oh.
So it says with a picture of you with.
Yo.
Oh, Shotty says, behave, Sharky. Nightmares. Aye, Shotty, you're going to give John nightmares here about all of this. Hey, my word. Leaf says, even with Sunderland's big French takeover, do you think Sunderland will ever get promoted to the Championship? It's possible. Well, it all depends who they probably bring in and who stays. As well.
Takeover, Sunderland. It's been takeover.
Yeah, apparently you get the takeover by who's worth a few billionaire. Apparently he's a 20-year-old billionaire.
Oh wow! I was going to say, are they going to probably keep Lee Johnson then by the looks of it?
Thing is, I think Lee John is I think he's got the experience because he's certainly done it in the Championship. If someone would get promoted, I don't think they'll get promoted this season. But they might have a possibility for next season.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, it's about time they did something about it. Because to be fair, even though I don't like Sunderland, I hate them. But they're a huge club, and they've got themselves in the mess, haven't they?
I've said, even though they're our rivals, that should not be playing in that league.
There's a lot of.
What they didn't do was learn from the mistakes. I think Ellis Short, when he was the owner before Stuart Donald took over, I think he absolutely ruined them to pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is, there's a lot of clubs in League One that you think that they should be Championship at least, but they used to be in the Premier League, but they're just going down because bad ownership. I was mentioning the group chat: Sunderland, Hull, Blackburn, Bolton, Wolves, Leeds. Birmingham could be next because they lost today and they're struggling.
I mean, yeah. Chatty says to you, John, what formation would you go with on Monday against Chelsea?
I'll go with Shad all the way. I mean, I'm a 4-3-3 man, but I'll go 4-2-3-1. You have to, because play 4-3-3, you're going to be leaving yourself wide open. We haven't got the players to do it. 4-2-3-1 all the way. He's going to play Shelby and Holden over Haley.
Thing is, I've actually decided to take Shelby out of the starting lineup. I just think his performances have not been up to standard.
Yeah, I'll put in Willock and Hayden. I'm probably with Peter on the lineup. I think goalkeeper's a bit debatable, but it's kind of take your pick. I mean, I'm not really fussed, to be honest.
I mean, thing is, though, I've just got a feeling that he's going to play 5 at the back. But if he does that, and I'm on a watch along, then serious questions got to be asked about this guy. I'm telling you, and I'll be absolutely cool on Bruce. I would. I mean, the fact is, the last 3 games we played okay. Apart from the Palace game, we kind of score goals. But at the end of the day, I think we've got to play a 4-3-3. We have to, right? But on this instance, it's got to be 4-2-3-1. Then you've got 3 attackers and 1 up front. And I just don't think Bruce is going to do it. But one thing I will say, if he get thrashed on Monday for a 4-5-0, playing that way, I guarantee you one thing, Bruce is going to get absolutely brutalised, I'm telling you. Because that's down to him.
Yep.
Yeah. If he's the one picking the side out on Monday, he's got to get it right. I mean, and also, why go to a defensive when we've been going for more of a Tottenham formation ever since Graeme Jones has come into the club now? They're trying to assist him.
That's the thing. And the thing with Bruce is so, what's the one looking for? He's just so stubborn and arrogant, right? It seems to me that he doesn't care. It's how he's doing this to get the back, or he's just doing this to wind us up. I mean, the players up as well. He brings Joe Linton in a 5-4-1, right? We got no creativity in the midfield whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like playing like 8 defensive players in the team. So what's the point? Chelsea, the back 3 of Chelsea can play 3 at the back. I don't feel they're that pacey. They're not quick. Silver's quality.
I think Rudiger's a liability in their back line.
Yeah, this is why this is why I'd go. I think this is why I'd go with Dwight Gale.
I've said Dwight Gale as well. The reason I said Dwight Gale is if it is going to be his last season with us, maybe see what he can offer before Callum Wilson comes back from his injury.
Yeah.
Because Andy Carroll, I think you can only bring him off the bench if there's a game sealed in the bag, or maybe for 1-0 down or drawing the game, etc. You could bring him on then. And Joe Linton, as I've just mentioned, just fills me with absolute zero confidence.
I'd get rid of all 3 of them. I can't see Dwight Gale staying. Carroll probably won't stay. Joe Linton I'd get rid of, but we'll probably struggle. But I'm not. But what I will do, potentially, it'll open up 1 or 2 squad spaces in the summer for a new striker.
We need a new team. I mean, honestly, if you're going to get 12 players out of the club, then you've got to replace those 12 players coming in. There's no point getting rid of 12 players and then bringing just 6. That is like asking for you, to know what I mean? I'm not being funny, but Steve Bruce, he needs to go. I'll get Eddie Howard in or Thomas Frank in, right? And make sure they don't interview you. I'll ask you a couple of questions. And the question I'll ask him, what do you want from this club? Do you want to qualify for Europe? Do you want to be in the top 10? And if that's not the answers he's looking for, he's not their man, I'm telling you. But, and another thing I'm going to say quickly is right. I mean, we finished 10th under Rafa, then 12th, and the middle of 17th. What's going to happen the season after that? We haven't really progressed in the Premier League, haven't we? And a lot we haven't seen.
Well, until Graeme Jones has come in, I think we could have been slumping massively towards that relegation zone if we were continuing with dross performances the way we were playing. I mean, my word, it's one of the awfulest runs we've been on, and we're still keep cabbage head in a job at this moment of time. I mean.
I'll go back a couple of seasons ago, right? I mean, when Alan Pardew went to West Brom, right? He's given the contract until, I think it's 18-month contract, right? They sacked him after, 10 games? They sacked him after 10 games. With this one, right, Steve Bruce, right? I was going to say that he's won 2 out of the last 3 games, right? Hold on a minute. He's won 2 out of the last 15 games. They need to start looking at the big picture, man. Because at the end of the day, we're still on a poor form. We're on the form. You understand what I'm saying? 2 wins and 15 games. 2 wins and 14, actually. Could be 2 and 15. Ain't good enough for Newcastle. This manager, not my manager, this manager, has got to go. Do you know what I mean?
He's been one of the worst. Up there with McLaren.
Exactly. At least I'll tell you something as well. Listen, Kevin Keegan, Bobby Robson, Rafa Benitez, if he was back properly, I tell you what, they were not takers 70. And that's where we are now. That's where we are now.
Yeah, you've just nailed it there. Spot on there, John. Oh, Paul says, oh, roses are red, violets are blue. John and Joe. Oh, God. Samuel just laughing at Paul. He says, I will go 4-2-3-1 against Chelsea and start. Oh, Joe, 11 Joe.
I don't know what's more ridiculous, that or the 10 Jack callbacks that John Carver talked about back in the day.
I remember that, the 11 Jack callbacks that bloody John Carver said.
Best manager in the world. So come out in the world, Howie. John Carver, remember him? He's big enough to look. He's the best manager in the world. And
the only reason he got famous with us because of assisting when he was under with Bobby Robson and also Pardew. Exactly. John, I will wonder how would you? Oh, John says, how would you react if we sell Herr Linton? He's on about Joe Linton.
Yeah, he's head to go. I'll be absolutely over the moon if you get out of the club. I'm telling you. I mean, I kept this really quiet, right? The first game against Arsenal last season, I didn't think he was going to make it, and up to now, I'll prove the case. 3 goals in 6-1 game. That's not good, isn't it? Really?
You paid £40 million for a bloke who scored not even double figures. He didn't even score double figures for Hoffenheim as well.
The thing is, because of that, I've got questions about what did we actually pay 40 million for him, or did we think actually he's not worth 40 million, but we'll pay the 40 million just to keep the fans off our back after Rafa's left? Because the thing is, fans don't do the research in unknown players coming into the Premier League, so they just go off the price tag. So we're thinking, oh, we've got a good sign in because he cost 40 million.
Shut us up. That's all it is. To say, you know what, I can pay 40 million to pay Rafa off. But Steve Bruce in, because he's a Geordie, Carroll's a Geordie, to keep the fan, to just shut the fans up. That's what he's done it for.
Yeah. Shorty says, I went Shelvey over Willock. We need experienced heads to start the game. Then Willock can come on last half an hour and see where the game is at. Well, I've said I've actually dropped out Shelvey for this game. I don't think I've been convinced by Shelvey's performances recently. I mean, the Southampton game, I know we won, but it's the free kick I think he takes, which leads to Southampton getting a goal back. I just think Shelby's pace is gone, and
he's finished. To be honest with you, Rafa Benitez hit the nail on the head. He spotted Shelby's attitude as well. That he's not a team player. Do you know what I mean?
That Rafa fell in favour with him.
He's lazy. He's trying to hit this Hollywood passes all the time, and you know what it is? He's being sussed, absolutely sussed. He's done, finished. I mean, we need in midfielder. Hayden, keep him. Hendricks, get rid. Shelby, get rid. Yeah.
People said they would actually get rid of Shelby as well. They would happily move him on.
Is get rid of him for whatever you can get for him. Do you know what I mean? But listen, we definitely need fresh faces in the squad in the summer.
Yeah, I think we've had some of those players that have been here for far too long. Yeah, we're thinking it's time to move on.
Well, I said many times, Sivet, I'm looking forward to getting him out of the club when his contract runs out soon. Hoping it's similar with Atsu. I mean, he might. I wouldn't mind keeping him if we got relegated, but even then, he's replaceable. Same with Gale.
You get Atsu?
No. I'm just saying, if we were to get relegated, he could do a job in the Championship, but if not, then he's definitely out.
He's definitely out anyway. Long-term, honestly, he's out of contract at the end of the season, so I wouldn't keep him. Don't think it's good enough.
I like that too in the Championship, but but the Premier League just hasn't got the pace there. Thomas says, please, Shorty, don't give me nightmares. Haha. Shorty says he's just winding John up, as always.
Oh.
Hey.
Huge nightmares about Hare Linton. Oh, God. Oh, David says, oh, John got his coat, and he says, and has he been fishing?
Yeah.
Oh, God almighty.
That's a bit short,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that's no weird.
He says the Joe Linton lineup was a joke for John.
Wouldn't
Sure.
pay them a mission fee to watch him.
Oh, what Paul said here. John, I can see it now. You and Joe Linton in the next Head and Shoulders advert. You're standing behind him under a waterfall washing his hair. Oh, God.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I want to have a big thumb on the advert, let me tell you. Guys, go and subscribe to PD's channel. Subscribe if you're new and smash the likes up. Follow Lawrence as well. And don't forget me as well.
Yes, you've just hit over 400 subs, haven't you, John? Haven't you?
400.
Well done.
Nice one. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Thanks very much. And I think I had 414 now. So.
Oh, really? Nice one. You're getting there.
I know. And I've got 2 streams. I'm going to do the half-term player ratings tomorrow, and I'm going to do. I'm trying to get an overseas fan to chat to us about all things Newcastle.
No, can he?
So I'm going to try and get as more content as I can, and I'll do a live question and answer in a week. I've got Claire Williams going on my chat on Wednesday. She's a Man U fan, so she's going to come and chat with us.
Yeah, that's good. Nice one. I think I've seen her. She's appeared on your channel before, John. So
we was together for 2 hours, man. That's another thing. I got cut down on my streams because I've done it for it should be an hour, but why did I allow 2 hours, man? It's good.
Yep. Joy says, haha, classic Paul after saying about John's cover with Joe Linton with bloody Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, that's classic.
Thomas Paul, he might get fined. Oh, God. Oh, he says, Shelby can leave at the end of the season. Hendrick, Carroll, Joe Linton, Gale, Atsu, and Sivert, let them leave. Yeah, I think I'll happily move definitely a few of those players on as well. I mean,
yeah,
he's just not good enough anymore.
Yeah,
but it's get rid of Boost as well.
Oh, definitely. More than anything.
I just hope if Bruce is to stay and he's going to be here next season, it's the final season. It's his final season because that's the next year. Is his final year of his contract, but it would be typical us in our spineless board if we decided to hand him a bloody contract extension. Fuck, I would not.
I'll comment to that second PD, if you don't mind. If Bruce signs a new deal, right? He does. I'm not hypothetically. If he does sign a new deal, I tell you what, season tickets we're just gonna go like that.
Yeah, that would surprise me actually.
And this could be a Milan moment, or a Hellas Verona moment, or it could be a Lazio moment where fans will have to say fans will not turn up to the games, right? And it was empty stadium, and then a couple weeks later, the board actually listened to the fans. You can't see these listening to us at all whatsoever, can you?
Shotty says he would actually move Matt Ritchie on him as well. We need to choose the transfer window to build a new team around our forward four. I do like Ritchie. I think he likes to give 110%. I think he is a grafter. Do you think his time is done at the club very soon?
I wouldn't mind moving him on, but he tends to do better later in the season. So I'll maybe give him a chance. But I feel like he could be out the door if we say got to take over and a new manager.
Yeah, that is a slight possibility. You could say. Shotty says, careful, Steve Bruce might leave. Alex might take over. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But what I am thinking is maybe Richie leaves and Tom Allen comes in, gets his chance, because next year, for next season, he possibly registered to play for us, some with Kellen Watts and Joe Willock, if we were going to take him back again.
Possibility. Oh, what Paul said now. Can you imagine John and Jolin doing an advert for Cadbury's Flake, sitting in a small boat with teaspoon of crumbs? Oh, oh,
man.
oh, God.
Oh, wow.
That Richie has lost a yard of their place. Bournemouth want him. Well,
Yeah.
I've heard
To be honest, it's back on Richie. I mean, he's been a great symbol of the club, but I say no.
Oh, yeah.
I think he needs to be moved on, and I'll tell you for why. Because I just don't think he can improve as a player. In the Premier League, you have to have PS, you have to have an idea. But for me, I think it's better to move back to Bournemouth if needs to be.
Yeah, well, this is coming from Shawty as well. He says, don't get me wrong, I love Matt Ritchie, my favourite player at the club. Unfortunately, too injury prone and not the same anymore. Yeah, well, he has had a couple of serious injuries. That's ruled him out for...
yeah, and he's 31.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to be on. I mean, like I said, we need a fresh start all over the shop, and that's what we need. I mean, you said earlier, about 10 minutes ago, players has been on at the club far too long. It needs freshen up, and at the minute, some of the players been there for 5-6 years. It's just stinking the place out for me, if I'm honest with you. But we need a change. Top of the bottom.
Thomas 321 that says me dog could score more goals than hell, and I think my dog as well, probably at this rate. Also, Shotty says Matt Ritchie is not also first team guarantee anymore. It's time for him to go. Yeah, that is another thing, because he hasn't been getting selected a lot of the times as well.
I think a fully fit Ryan Fraser would be better than Ritchie. So I'm hoping next year it's maybe ASM, Ritchie, potentially Murphy would sign him, or maybe the new winger, or could bring in give Tom Allen a chance.
Possibly, yeah.
Think he's ready though? I mean, Tom Allen, do you think he's ready for the Premier League?
That's a good question.
Yeah, might be he goes along to the Championship next season.
Yeah,
this might be a brave move for us. I'll get Ivan Toney back, because he's banging in the goals for Brentford, 24 goals. I'll bring him back.
I think if they don't, with him and Armstrong, if their clubs don't go up, they'll move. They'll get signed by a Premier League club.
Samuel says, "Who would you guys bring in the next window?" I know you've said you were like Tony back at the club, John. Who else would you like to see back at the club, or who would you like to bring in the next window?
If I had to bring back one former player, it'd be Kevin Mbabu.
Ah, yes, Mbabu.
Yeah.
Any new faces that haven't played for the club before?
New striker to take up Gale's squad space.
Yeah.
And probably probably two new ones to replace Gale, Carroll, get rid of Jolinton, maybe look to strengthen somewhere.
Paul says, good things must come to an end. Ritchie is unfortunately one of the players that need to go. Well, I suppose they have been at this club for too long. I mean, Ritchie's been here since 2016. The season was signed him in the Championship, so he has been here a very long time. But I think he has done very well. One of the players, if he does leave, can end his time at this club on a high. I would say, yeah, as well. So, Shotty says we need another Callum Wilson type striker in the club in the summer to help him. Totally agree.
Yeah,
absolutely, totally agree. Paul says again, however, Ritchie can leave the club with his held head high. unlike a few others, as I mentioned, I think Richie's been a great servant to the club. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the guys who still on the squad who just aren't good
Yeah.
enough.
I'm thinking,
Yeah,
I'm thinking he
well,
might. Yeah, I'm thinking Richie might go back to Bournemouth and maybe he'll go to Portsmouth if they get into the Championship and finish his career there.
yeah. Shotty says Ivan Toney won't come back. Adam Armstrong's probably going to West Ham in the summer for 15 million. That was quoted this week. I've heard that, but I've also heard rumours that apparently Blackburn have slapped a 30 million price tag on him.
Oh, lads, I'm gonna go now. Watch match of the day.
No problem, Lawrence. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to Lawrence's channel, the Geordie View. He's just recently started doing YouTube again. Help him get back on track to where he was previously. So, yeah, do subscribe to the Geordie View. Thanks very much, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Take care, boss. See you later. Wow.
Yeah. So, John, what else would you give credit Graeme Jones has done at the club since he's been here?
He's always going to talk to the players, engage with the players, get his message across. Shouting as well, which I think is great, pointing it out and as well. Steve Bruce doesn't do that. All he does, he puts his hands in his pockets, or he just claps away like that. That's all he does. And the worst thing is coaches don't even hardly say out.
Who also have the first name as Steve as well.
Exactly. Sums up, doesn't it? My God, not good. But like I said, I mean, we definitely need changes in the summer. But the trouble is with Ashley, he needs to listen to the fans now. He needs to, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't listen to the fans, then people ain't going to buy season tickets.
Yeah, well, Joyce said Matt Ritchie will always be a legend in my eyes. Unfortunately, his time is up. Steve Bruce is trying to move away from the wing-back system. That's if I'm led to believe. Oh, God, I hope you're right. I hope he has moved away from this wing-back system because, my God, it doesn't work at all.
This is the thing. It doesn't work. I mean, I don't know how many games he won playing five at the back, but I think, my reckoning, I think he won twice.
Yeah.
Twice. And Steve Bruce, he doesn't change it up. But if he changes it up and we get beat, then at least we're trying. But we don't. And another thing is, if you want a goal, right, he takes off a left back for a left back. He takes off a defender for a defender. And he takes off a striker for a striker. That just goes to show Steve Bruce hasn't got a clue in the modern day of tactics.
I mean, one time he's throwing like about 4 forwards on in a game and doesn't work off the bloody time.
Doesn't work. And the guy ain't good enough. I mean, I've always said, and it's just shocking, absolutely shocking. And one thing I will say, right, changing tack, the abuse he's been getting, no one deserves any abuse. No one. We all want them out, right?
Yep.
On the pitch is not good enough. But take it to one side in a minute, we do not want our supporters abusing anybody. That's Bruce, the players, no abuse whatsoever. Because I listened to Paul's clip a day, and he said he's quite right that the Newcastle fans are hard working class people that like to get behind the team, right? But we do not want people like that on our platforms, on fan base. We've got no time whatsoever, mate. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what I think you ought to do, and I've said this, if you'll come on Twitter or any social platforms and that, you need to have like your driver's license or your passport. You mess up, that's it. That's you done.
Yeah. Paul said, I mean, like, why is Alex Bruce going on a public radio station or sports show to announce it rather than just probably going straight to the police about it if he hasn't already done that, which I totally agree on. That as well. So, any others we've got? Choi says, what I like about Graeme Jones, he barks out he's barks out orders. Well, he does. Everton, you could see him doing that.
Totally. Just like Matt, it's just like him being our manager. Shout out, get a message across. You look at that team, 4-3-3. Almiron plays a number 10 role, and we're also up front, and we just got proper midfielders playing the right position, simple as that. And we defended properly. One thing I'll say about Cardalo, listen, he's been fantastic this season for us, but I want to see him distribute better. I want to see him when he comes out for the balls tonight. I want to see him pushes upwards so they don't get a tap in. Do you know what I mean? And I've noticed he flaps a lot.
That's the thing. I just have that worry about Dolo's distribution at the moment. That's why I've said now probably is the time to stop looking at bringing Dubravka and back in. He's got the number 1 jersey for a reason. He can at least give instructions out to the defenders as well. That is the thing. I think Dolo has done very well, but I think the Bruce and Jones and also the other coaching staff have probably got to have a bit of a word with him and say, right, you have been fantastic, but we're just concerned about your distribution. We'll possibly have to look at bringing Dubravka back in goal for this moment of time.
Give him a bit of a rest as well, mind. You know, I totally get 100%. I mean, he needs a break, and mistakes is creeping into his game, and you got to get Dubravka in for me, I say. But you're right. If we find out on Monday if he makes any more mistakes, and then it's time for Dubravka to come back in, that's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah. And if Dubravka comes back in, you're not let us down. I'm telling you, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But go back to Alex Bruce when he come out and go on Talk Sport and tell us all these. He should have gone to the police. He should have gone to the authorities. Now he's left himself wide open on Twitter. And one thing I noticed, Talk Sport put out a tweet, and the fans couldn't comment on it.
Yep, I absolutely. Yeah.
How come? I mean, sorry. How come you put a tweet out and we're not allowed to comment on it? I just don't get it. Don't get it at all.
Hi. Shay says, "Are you worried about the bottom 3 clubs?" I think Sheffield United and West Brom, they're gone. I would say they're gone already. Fulham, they have been playing well, but they're just not getting the wins. They've been slightly struggling to score goals as well. That is the thing. I do think Everton will have too much for them tomorrow. I know Dominic Calvert-Lewin's apparently injured, but Everton, they've still got the likes of James Rodriguez. They've still got Richarlison to play. Bernard is another option. They could look at him as well. Pickford's out, but Pickford's terrible. They've got that other keeper, Olsen.
Yeah.
And I think Everton, I think that they will have too much for Fulham. That's what I think.
I think they will as well, for quite honestly. I think Everton's turned the corner at this moment in time. They're scoring goals. They score 5 against Spurs. And look, sometimes Everton can have their funny moments. They had their funny moments against us. And also, they're just getting beat by silly teams as well. But Fulham will go over there and give it a right go. And if Fulham gets out of the game tomorrow, then I'll be worried, because Fulham's got a game over us. But if you're looking at who we've got to play Brighton away, Fulham away, West Brom away, Burnley away. Now, if we get beat, hypothetically, if we don't win those games and we get beat, we're right back in it. Because if you look at the games we've got coming up with the last 5 games, I think I'll play Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Sheffield United, and Fulham.
Yep.
And I will not be confident. I will not be confident going into that game, those games whatsoever.
Hi.
And it's a worry at the minute. And people say we're 10 points, but I tell you something, still plenty of games to go. It is not over yet. It ain't over yet. We're not safe yet.
No, definitely not over yet. There's still so far long way to go at this moment of time.
I agree.
Yeah. Just going to read out through some more comments there. David says, John, what time are you doing your player ratings video?
It'll probably be on Tuesday.
You doing that on Tuesday, did you say?
On the next night, because after the match, I'm going straight to bed because I've got to be up. So I'll be doing it on Tuesday. Tuesday it is.
Scott NUFC says, Harry fellas, Harry Scott, the streamer. I would love to say, I'd love Willock Russ is a must. Well, he's only played one game. I think we just need to see more games to be played from him and see where we go from there. One game, you can't really judge it, but he was brilliant on his first game. So I think we'll have bring him in to possibly give him regular first-team football, but we do need to see more performances, more games from him as well before making a decision on that one. I would say definitely.
I have to agree with you and Sharky as well. The fact of the matter is that he needs to play about 5 or 6 games. 5 or 6 games, and then we can make a decision. 10 games to make a decision, you know what I mean? Can't judge after one game. Just cannot. Because look at Sissoko. Yeah, all these years ago, he destroyed Chelsea on his own, and everyone's bigging him up, saying, "Oh, yes, he's gonna be the next big thing." You know what I mean?
He just got lazy and he didn't want to be here.
Exactly, and it's a shame because on his day, he's a world beater, but in our days, he's just an egg beater. You know what I mean? But he just doesn't show it. He's got the ability, he doesn't show it enough.
Yeah. So it says, old school 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 that works for our squad, not pot the bus tactics. Well, exactly. I mean, we shouldn't be doing this going into games and expect to pot the bus. I think we might just scrape something out of it. We've got the players to sit go and attack teams, but obviously the manager half the time doesn't have a bloody clue what he's doing half the time and likes to provide these defensive tactics every game a lot of the time, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the fact is, the defeat is it just goes as defeatist. What's the word? He's a defeatist, Bruce. He really is a defeatist, and when he plays a defensive-minded game, then it doesn't give us feels like confidence, doesn't it? And the players as well. And it's a shame that because we're just so buzzing all in the games, right? Should be exciting, but when he does that, I'm sorry, he just doesn't give us feels of confidence. I hope now that tactics 4-2-3-1 here last year, or 4-3-3, whatever it needs to be, you know. And also, what I like to see as well, I see ASM, Fiasa, and Miron all an attacking way and try to get a lot of fun. But Bruce won't do that.
No, that's the thing.
He won't do it. I'll be surprised. He plays Shelby here in midfield, but he'll probably play Fiasa and Murphy and play Joe Linton. He's only playing them because Steve Bruce haven't got the confidence. To me, if he plays 5-4-1, yeah, he will not trust his players. That's as far as I know. I've said that for weeks and months. I still don't think he trusts the players. And I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Shai says William needs to perform on a regular basis before he would consider signing him. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you can't judge him after one game. You've got to judge him on the rest of the games he plays throughout the rest of the season. So I totally agree. He also says, I didn't think too much of Jones at Everton. It was Crystal Palace when I seen the difference. Despite losing 2-1, he went up to the stands to look at us from a distance. That's how I analyse Jones. Well, yeah. But I mean, like, it goes back to the Palace game when we lost 2-1. And you just see Steve Bruce just down on that touchline, hands in his pockets, no instructions at all from the bloke. I mean, that's why I kind of trust this manager.
You know what it is, Pete? I didn't trust him from day one. I just didn't, because I never wanted it at the club. I wanted them out before I hid as in the club. You know what I mean? I did not want him at the club. And when his name was mentioned, I thought, oh my God, please no, please don't. Right? And I just feel the worst. I feel the club was just going to go sinking all the time. And I still think we're not safe yet. Paul, we're not safe yet. And for me, going back to on the touchline, he just doesn't do now. You know what I mean? He doesn't shout at the players.
No, he doesn't.
And that's why he's, like I've always said, that's why he needed change at the top. And another thing is with Bruce, I don't think he's well. I just think he looks ill. Ryan Taylor is absolutely right. And for the sake of the club, I think he needs to wait because of the ill. But he's not going to walk away because he doesn't miss out on the money. So, and actually not going to sack him in 1 second.
That's the thing. I mean, Pine's only going to cost $1.5 million to sack him. I mean, that's now in football these days.
I totally agree. I mean, Ashley's trying to save as much money as possible. Maybe if he doesn't waste the money, like Lazar, Xavier, and Atsu, right? Maybe all that money he's paying out on those 3 players, knocking in the bathrooms in anger, right, could have gone towards the boost compensation and get sacked.
Yeah.
I just do not get it at all. And, you know, the way Ashley does things is absolutely, I find it strange at the moment. Very strange. Very strange. The way he runs the club is a complete utter shambles from top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know that. I know that. Everyone fans knows that. The only ones who kind of see is Ashley.
Oh, you've just nailed it there, John.
Yeah.
Ryan says, people thought I was daft for saying Dollar was overrated. He's a good shot stopper, but there is more to it than that. He has been fantastic this season. It is just the distribution that does really concern me at this moment of time. That is the thing. So, yeah, he does need to work on that. Chotty says he has went for Dollar because Bruce won't drop him. Don't get me. I would prefer Dubravka, but I'm looking at the predicted 11 realistically. Well, yeah, if he does keep Dollar in goal, then it's because of how he's been playing this season. That's why, and he has done very well, Dollar, since stepping in for when Dubravka was out injured. But it's just Dollar just needs to work on his distribution, because if he's coming very flabby, if he's punching balls where he knows he can catch them, and the worst case scenario is for if he doesn't catch the ball when he can, and the worst case is he punches it to a Chelsea player who's got a chance of putting it in the back of the net.
Very, very true. That is why he needs to keep pushing out. He needs to be firm with the ball as well. If he cannot catch it, punch it away. Punch it away.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, punch it up high or punch as far as you can. And I just don't think he does that. And he looks a bit slight as well for a goalkeeper as well.
Yeah.
Very, very, very slight. But he does a lot of work on his physical side. The Braca, he's no problems at all.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. Just read that one. Ryan says, I don't think Darlow deserves the drop, but he's not a match on Dubravka. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Darlow, he has done a very well. He's done very well, and you got to give him credit for it. That is the thing.
Definitely. I mean, he's done no wrong at all.
Oh, he hasn't.
He made about over 100 saves a season. Right, make sure you subscribe to us as well, my friend, as well as PDs as well. And
Ryan says he had to make a new account, so subscribe again. No problem, Ryan. Thanks very much again for subscribing again. Really appreciate it as well, massively. David says, okay, mate, see you Tuesday. So that he's on about when you do the your player ratings, John.
Yeah.
Scott says, did you notice Jones' first game? He took control of the dugout, then got put in the stands the next game and went back to sucking. Bruce has got an ego. Probs know Jones is better. Well, if you've got a person who's giving out instructions to players, telling them where to go, what they need to do, rather than a bloke who's should be the manager or head coach, stand there with his hands in his bloody pockets. I mean, it's absolutely on beggars belief half the time.
I totally agree. I mean, if I was Steve Bruce, if I had Graeme Jones come as new assistant manager, I want his help. Work as a team. Do you know what I mean? Listen to what you have to say. learn from it, take it on board, and just roll with it. But the problem is, Steve Bruce, like I say, is so stubborn and arrogant and have that big ego. He wants to do things his way. Before Jones came in, he said, I want to do things my way. Things would be done my way. He's lost 3 games since he said that. I don't know if anyone realised that, but Steve Bruce is just going to rod for his own back, because at the end of the day, right, he's just embarrassing himself. Just listen to Graeme Jones, right, and then take it on board, because at the minute you only won what, 215 games? I think a whole players listen to Graeme Jones as a fresh voice in the dressing room, right, and just find the positions best for them and just get on with it. But Steve Bruce is just going to ruin them again. But
I totally agree.
Ashley's got it back. If Ashley got any balls about himself, right, I should sack him now. Because A, he's not getting the results. B, he does not look well. And C, the abuse he's getting as well from the fans. And most clubs, if he was at a different club, he'll walk. But he won't do it here at Newcastle. I know.
Yeah, exactly. What did it Shoggy says, calling Dr. Jones. Oh, God. That's a song holiday, isn't it? Steve Bruce should leave at the end of the season. Well, do you think it should be gone already?
Totally agree. Like I said to you before, PD, right? I'm not being funny, but he should have gone after Liverpool last season. I've always said that.
Yep. No, massively. Aye. Thomas says he should leave now this minute. Bruce. Well, he should.
If we get another beating on Monday, then I think.
Shotty says, are you calling Darlow Flappy Bird, PD? Well, it's just the distribution. He needs to work on it at this moment of time. That is the thing. Ryan says, oh, what is John's channel called? It's John Sinclair TV.
Or if you put that John Sinclair NUFC.
Oh, yeah, John Sinclair NUFC.
If you kind of find it at NUFC and it'll come up. Francis, I appreciate that when it comes.
Well, just brings me on to this comment there, John. You've just got a subscription from him.
Ryan, thanks very much indeed, my guy. And just keep watching my channels. I've got loads of contents to do, from match preview with a fan, press conference reaction, combined 11, player ratings, and overseas interviews as well. I'm starting on that and talking to opposition as well. So I've got quite a few contents on go.
Yeah. Shotty again says Steve Bruce is out of his depth tactically. Then again, he doesn't do tactics. Well, he doesn't need tactics from this idiot whatsoever.
Worst manager I've ever had at Newcastle. The worst. And that's above Steve McClaren.
Ryan also said, Lola, he said it himself. Well, if he said he hasn't got tactics, why be in this job in the first place?
Because it's a dream job. The sort of thing he wants to take is his dream job. What Sheffield Wednesday has done to him, right? He's given him a platform, a chance to come back. He went to watch cricket in the West Indies, right? So Sheffield Wednesday allowed him to do that because obviously his dad's passed away. So they let him go for it. And then he comes back and he does that. They've done him a favour. And this is how he repaid them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I just don't get it.
Scott says, what are your thoughts on Woodman next season? I'd hate to lose him. I think Woodman's going to be going. I think he's going to get possibly more regular first-team football if he signs. If he stays on at Swansea or looks for another club. He's not going to get their first-team football at this moment of time at this football club at the moment. That's the thing. So, yeah, Woodman going on there, unfortunately.
I have to agree because we got 2 cracking goalkeepers, and it'd be unfair for Freddie to stay on. Like, I mean, if Swansea gets promoted, I think it'll go there, but make sure we get first refusal. So if any of Dubravka or Darla decides to move on, then we should be getting first choice of Freddie Woodman by buyback clause for how much it's going to be, say 20 million, 25 million pound. We should get first choice. And if it's available, we've done it.
Right, see, says, will do, John. I enjoy all your lads' content. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I'm sure, John, appreciate when you watch his content as well. Sure, he says that Chelsea will be tough on Monday, but it's a game where we can get something from. It's possible. As I mentioned, I don't think Chelsea have been fantastic. I see mistakes in their side. As well, as I mentioned, Sheffield United, they were not brilliant. And Barnsley, I thought Barnsley were the much better side.
I didn't watch the game, but I heard that Barnsley were excellent. I mean, like I said last week, if Barnsley can have a go at them, we should be able to have a go at them. We've got the players, we've got the talent. At the end of the day, it's down to Bruce. Allow them to express themselves, allow them to show themselves. You know what I mean? And let them enjoy the football. Don't die for them. Don't put the handbrake on. Just let it go.
Sure, he also says a cabbage would do a better job, and it's not alive; it's a vegetable. Yeah. Sure, he also says Swansea will sign Freddie Woodman. He won't stay here. Also, Swansea City could be a Premier League club next season. Well, they're battling up there to try and get promotion back to the Premier League. So, yeah.
And they played cracking football as well, by the way. They're playing the football that Brendan Rodgers used to be. The way Brendan Rodgers played football with them, they're doing exactly the same. And I tell you what, they'd be a credit for the championship. But you got Norwich as well, you got Brentford as well.
Yeah, Ryan says, yeah, no doubt, Bruce is the worst we've had in the Premier League. He's definitely been one of the worst, easily. Definitely up there. Wait time. Ryan says, Brian hasn't got the balls or intelligence to win Chelsea unless it's a lucky result. Well, yeah. Shay also says Swansea play good football, yes. Anyway, guys, if you want to join the live stream, feel free. I know, David, you were waiting again just before, but if you don't mind, I'm going to try and get some new people in the stream who haven't been in yet because it gives them a chance.
Yeah.
Also, but I am going to put the link if no one has found the link. It is in the description. It is pinned in the live chat as well, but you can't find it. I will put it in the live chat as well for you.
Man, you go for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think as well that how do I put it? To like Steve Bruce said, the worst manager. We can see it. The players knows it. Why does Ashton Charnley? Why?
Yes, David says, can you come back? Can you come back and join? Yeah, as I mentioned, David, I'm just going to see if there's any other people that'll join in again first, because it just it gives other people a chance to give them a chance to join in as well. But if no one else comes in at the moment of time, I will try to let you back into the stream. He says, Ryan Sweet, you see my face, lads. Last thing you need on camera. If you want to come in, Ryan, feel free to do so as well if you want to. So, and Shai says, do you think Fernandez and Lascelles will play any part on Monday night? I heard they are touch and go from what I've heard, but I don't think I've been convinced with Lascelles. And if Fernandez is been suffering from the effects from COVID again, do you risk him thrown back to the start lineup again straight away? I mean, we could do what we did with ASM, have him on the bench for probably at least a couple of games and bring him back in and until he's definitely ready to start again.
Ease him back in, that'd be the best bet. I mean, you don't want to bring him in straight away after a long injury, whatever it may be. I think Steve is finding sense now to don't rush the guys in and then bring him in from the start. And yeah, ASM had a great game on Saturday, I thought, against Southampton. And yeah, just, take your time, don't rush into it, happy days, and see what happens.
Shai says Paul Drummond is expected to play as well. Well, I've actually got him to play at centre back alongside with Kieran Clark. I was going to say, what would your lineup be, John, for Monday?
Right, it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. I'm going to say Darlan Gore. I hate to say his name, but Kraft's going to be there, unfortunately. Left back is going to be Jamal Lewis. The centre halves is going to be Kieran Clark, and I think it'll probably be Federico Fernandez. I think he's coming back. I could be wrong, but if he is, then I suppose he's got to play him at this moment in time. And then two holding midfielders is going to be Hayden, and I want it to be Rillick, but it's going to be Shelby anyway. And the three attackers is going to be Fraser, Miggy, ASM, and Drygel.
Interesting lineup there, John. Ryan says, I think we are lucky the bottom three are shite looking at our injuries. Well, yeah, Manquillo, Fabian Schär, and Callum Wilson. I mean, Callum Wilson's the massive loss we've been dealt with.
That's a huge miss there. Losing those three key players at this moment in time. And you lose your key players, they're obviously going to come and have to step up on the plate. And where to step up on the plate? Possibly, if we play football the right way. But if we don't, then it could be a long, long night. And just look at Sharky's comments there about Emma Kraft. He needs to take his chance and perform how he's capable. I'm not an Emma Kraft fan. I'm not at all. Or Emma's crap. I wouldn't take him. I mean, he's the only right back we've got. And here's a question for you. What's the point of selling a right back when you're not going to buy a right back?
Yeah, I think I said I would sell Yedlin, but I think it has. It was like Paul said, it's come to bite with the backside a bit by the looks of it. Most important person for the team is Wilson. Look, we have a bit of space from the jump. Well, yeah, I totally agree on that. Shotty also said this would be his lineup. Dubravka, Lewis at left back, Kraft at right back, Dummett and Clark as the centre backs, Hayden and Shelby as the two centre midfielders, Fraser and ASM on the wings, Almira on number 10, and Dwight Gill up front. That's not a bad lineup, I would say. As I said, I've replaced Shelby with Joe Willock. I want to see where Joe Willock continue from last season. Just Shelby's performances have not been fantastic up to lately. I mean, from set pieces, and then we're gifting the opposition goals.
That's the thing. I just think Shelby is lazy as well, and
he can be. Yeah, that is the thing.
I'll definitely drop him, man. I'll definitely give Willock. You got to play Willock and play legs. We need players who's going to have that driving force in the midfield, and Willock can provide us that. Shelby won't. He'll just get the bar. He hit his Hollywood passes. If it doesn't come off, he just doesn't care. And for me, I don't think he's a leader at the club. He should never be captain. I mean, again, people saying that Shelby's quality. He's absolute quality. You know, he can play these passes, sort of thing. That's the fast captain I'm here and cry. Do you know what I mean? Well, he ain't my fast captain. I'm telling you, he ain't good enough. And he's finished.
Oh, I absolutely agree. That's the thing. I mean, people see he just hasn't got the legs as what he has at the moment. Charlie says, speedy recovery for Fabian Schär. Do you think lads think he has played his last game for the Toon? I really feel for him. He was come back to his best. We'll wait and see. I've heard this is coming from the One Football app. It's been talked we could give him an extra 1 year extension, possibly. We'll wait and see on that one. What do you think, John?
I have to agree. I mean, they could trigger the contract as well for another year. I hope he stays because for me, I think he stepped up to the plate. But it's a bit late for him giving him an 8 out of 10 on my half-term player report, so we're going to do tomorrow. But the last couple of games, I think he's been fine. I thought could have done a little bit better against Crystal Palace, so he had that chance. But against Everton, I thought he was decent. And I thought against Southampton, until he came off, I thought he's decent again. But we need a manager who's going to teach these defence how to play out from the back. I think Schär and Fernandez would do fantastic playing the ball out from the back.
Yeah. Oh, I massively agree.
Your thumbs are.
Right, Sweetie says any other manager will get our team looking better. Well, I totally agree on that one. Massively. Shotty says, I'm not a fan of Emil Kraft, John, but he needs to perform well between now and the end of the season. Well, yeah, now's his chance to step up since Manquillo's out injured now.
to be honest with you, I never wanted him out of my club because I watched him for Bologna, follows clear, because also I watched Italian football. And this guy, he was bang average for Bologna. And there's a reason why he went to Amiens, a small French club. And when we offered him £7 million, they just couldn't believe their luck. I said, please, no, do not get this guy. He is not good enough. Again, I've been proved right because at the end of the day, I just think he's absolutely clueless. You know, that tackle in the first half against Southampton when he totally missed the bar, couldn't tackle, got a player, got booked for that. He is absolutely useless, honestly.
Yeah, right, says a green shell. Me, it's pissed me off most games due to attitude, not quality. I totally agree on that. He has at times. Shai says, I would give Share 2 years contract extension. Abida said, if people got a takeover, they possibly wouldn't. But so far, if we didn't get a takeover, I think I would give him a new contract at this moment of time. Ryan says, remember Fabian under Rafa, top player? I mean, that strike he scored against Burnley. Hey, that was something that, like,
absolutely fantastic. I mean,
sure
under that, yeah, he came for Deportivo La Coruña relegation club, Spanish club at the time, and we got for $3 million. I thought it was a flipping bargain. Let me tell you something, right? I mean, this guy, he's absolutely a baller. When he's on it, he is on it, and he's not a Swiss captain and there's a reason why he's a Swiss captain because he's really good.
Yeah. Sure, he also says, one a positive. Jeff Hendrick is missing for Chelsea on Monday night. I tell you what is missing is receipt. It must have got washed up in Ashley's washer. I mean, Jeff Hendrick. I mean, he's terrible, Jeff Hendrick. So that is a positive. He is not playing on Monday. I mean, what did you make of the red card against Southampton? I mean, what was he doing? I mean, yes, there's question over the first tackle. Was it a bit harsh? But it's when you're on a yellow card and you do something silly like pull a man's shirt, you know what is going to happen. Not to mention he's looking at the ref and says, what are you doing that for? Well, do you know what you're doing, man, you stupid idiot?
Well, I told you, he's just shocked. First of all, it's blessing in disguise he got the red card, so he don't play it on Monday. Blessing in disguise. And that's the receipt. He doesn't need to for the receipt. He came on a free. And you know what it is, right? I mean, he knew what he did wrong. He had to go. And if you look at it in the first half, he did that crude, terrible tackle from behind in the first half. He was lucky to be still on the pitch because that was a bad one.
Oh, hi.
He could have fired that and he would have got a straight red for it.
Yeah. Sure, he says Jeff Hendrick needs to go. Totally agree. Well, no one else has come back in the news coming for the stream. Yes, I'll get David back in. So I'll get him back in. Here he is again. David, I hope you don't mind me asking. I hope I'm wrong here. Please don't tell me you were flashing a Toon shirt that said it had number 9 of Joe Litton on the back. Please tell me you are lying here.
Right.
This one, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Really? Oh, David, man.
Get him off.
Sorry, David. I'm going to have to do this just for a couple of minutes. It's what you call a 5-minute break or suspended 5-minute penalty for a bit.
Get him off.
Yeah, I've just done whatever. What happened to you on the fall show when you got kicked off by Paul for when you said we're going to roll our sleeves up when we get Sheffield?
Yeah. Definitely not. I can't say that. I've been done for ages, but there you go. Listen, it's all a bit back at the end of the day, but hey, I mean, I just got a feeling he's going to play on Monday. I'll dread with fear he's going to play on Monday, Joe. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know what to say.
Yep. Remember Hedrick versus Hammers? He actually looked good. Well, he did, but that was against the West Ham who were really struggling. And it didn't make any signings. And a lot of the fans were really worried about going into the season. Ryan Sweeney says, yeah, City back to best, like superb against Spurs the day, looking to go on to win the title this season. I can see that happening. So far, 3-0 against Spurs tonight.
Stepped up.
Really stepped up, yes, massively.
And I just can't. I think they're going to dominate now. As long as Pep Guardiola is at that club, they're going to dominate again and again and again.
Thomas 321 Lol says, great stream, PD Chesman, really appreciate it. Not got many Joe Linton on their tops, like I've never had got neat tops with Joe Linton on the back so far. Ryan Sweeney with a laughing face. And Ryan says, lol. I like the band like PD funny crack like. Burnley hammered Crystal Palace put us 17th. Yeah, I watched that. Palace were shocking the day. Like, I mean, when Zaha doesn't play, Palace really, really struggle massively.
We could
really do. Well, I'll bring David back in. Go on then. Yep, if I see that Joe Linton top again, unfortunately, you'll be gone from the stream. Unfortunately,
I've only got him because he's number 9.
Number 9. That doesn't mean he's great.
No, but I like the number 9.
Well, what you could have had, you possibly your own name on it, but God, Joe Linton on it.
I got it for Christmas.
Next season,
I didn't know I was getting it.
Oh, well, that's fair enough, but honestly, do you have to flash it on bloody camera? That's the thing. Oh, God. Oh, John, is Joe Linton still worth 15 million?
No, don't
you say no to that. Don't you say no to that.
Give it that away. No, I just think he's the worst player I've ever seen at Newcastle. I really do. I don't know what to say. And look, I wanted the lad to work hard. I really wanted to give him a go, give him a chance. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's good enough. He's got to be the worst centre forward I've ever seen. He's not Premiership standard. He's not.
He's not.
To Robbie TV, Shorty says Sean Dyche's underrated. I like Sean Dyche. I like Sean Dyche. You not like Sean Dyche?
No.
What do you not like about Sean Dyche?
He's cockiness. He's arrogant.
I like him.
He's another Bruce. Arrogant.
He's better than Bruce.
Shorty says John Joe Linton on John's shirt next season. Oh, God. Ryan says, "What about Shearon for number 9?" Like, I
had a Shearer shirt, and I don't know.
Paul's back. John Linton. Ooh, John. Ooh, Joe. I don't know if you've seen it just there, Paul. I had to do what you did when you kicked John out the street for saying about to John, but he says we're going to roll the sleeves up. Well, I just had to kick David out there the stream. He actually had a Toon shirt with Joe Linton number 9 on the back. Oh, God.
I'm never going to live that down now, am I?
Oh, just didn't flash it on my stream again anymore, please, David. Shai says Papa Cisse and Denver Ball were great. Oh, that was a quality partnership up front I had.
I had Cisse on the back of one of my shirts as well.
Cisse, Shai says Sean Dyche is not arrogant. I don't think the bloke's arrogant. I can tell he's got passion.
There's something about him I just don't like him.
Yeah, everyone's got their opinion, I suppose, but I rate him. Shai says Sean Dyche is definitely not Steve Bruce. Definitely not. He's a much better manager than Steve Bruce by a mile.
Oh, he's a better manager. He does the same tactics as what Steve Bruce does. He likes to play a 5 at the back.
Sean plays 4-4-2 all the time, and I don't know someone goes like Sean Dyche. I don't think he'll come to Newcastle because he would destroy Ashley.
And plus, you would play Hendricks. You would play Hendricks a lot more.
Might get the best out of Hendrick because Bruce is certainly not getting the best out of Jeff Hendricks so far. He says Dyche is one of the nicest and funniest managers in football. As I said, I do read Sean Dyche. Right, what's Ryan says? John got to get tattooed with Joe Linton with red hair, saying Oh,
Nah.
God.
For me, nah. Listen, at the end of the day, man, I mean, we'll move on for this guy because I don't want him in my team. I just don't.
No.
No one does. But he's. I'm positive that it says on the one football app that he's injured.
Well, we'll wait and see about that. We'll wait and see. We'll
But
just wait and see.
Didn't they say Lewis was injured and he played?
Possibly, but honestly, Joe Linton just fills me with absolute zero confidence. Shai says Sean Dice plays 4-4-2. Well, he does. He had Bonds with Rodriguez playing the day, or it's normally Bonds alongside with Chris Wood.
I thought he plays 5 at the back.
No,
Sean Dice definitely does not play 5 at the back.
As a manager in the Premier League, same as He's played 5 at the back.
No, he hasn't.
I've never seen Dice play with 5 at the back.
He never plays 5 at the back.
It might not be Sean Dice, it might be some other manager. But I'm thinking,
Sean Dyche has done well with no money. Steve had loads, and we have gone backwards. Well, yeah, Bruce has been given the most to spend at this club. Sean Dyche hardly at the time gets a penny. Sure, he also said Sean Dyche has never played 5 at the back in his management. There you are.
Never seen it.
Brian James says Graeme Jones, and it's time to go. Harvey says, Bruce, it's definitely time to go. Hi. Even against Man City, or the better side, it's 4-4-2. Well, yeah, I see how Burnley play now. It's definitely been 4-4-2. Ryan says, Bruce has 10 at the back. Definitely does it a lot of the time. Charlie also said Sean Dyche would be a good manager. As I said, I rate Sean Dyche. I really do.
I do, but is he going to come to Newcastle though? Under Ashley?
Yeah. Even Ryan said he would. Even Ryan said he would take Dyche all day as well.
I'm not just waiting that I wouldn't take him. I would take anyone better than what Bruce is. But
Brian says we've got 100 million squad and we're very lucky to even win some games. Well, yeah, because again,
we need a young manager. That's all I'm saying.
And a manager who gets the best out of these players, who not just stands there with his hands in his pockets. As to say, I want
Eddie Howe. I really do. I really want Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe would be a good shout. He's still young, but it's just would he be willing? Would he be willing to come back to management when he said he wants a season off at this moment of time? That is the thing.
Carl Robinson. I would love to see him.
Yeah. Sure. He also said Sean Dyche is a fans manager. He engages. Definitely does. I've seen what he does on the touchline, so I've got to agree with that 100%.
I know he does instruct his players.
Yeah, Sean Dyche's experience with plenty of years in the game. Yeah, I agree with that. Ryan Sweeney, yep, everyone to blame but Bruce. It annoys me when these pundits like to back him, and you're thinking, how can he be doing a good job if he's been given the most to spend, and we're sitting 4th bottom in the league?
I just don't understand how Jim he comes out saying that I've got death threats, but the week before that he come out and said that he had fan mail. So which one is it? Say the death threats or fan mail?
Yeah, I mean, what do you believe half the time? That is the thing.
And then you've got Alex Bruce going on to the radio show and
talk sport.
Yeah, and doing it all over radio instead of going to through the national channels.
Yeah,
the proper channels.
Left himself open, didn't he? He left himself open. He
left his family wide open.
That's a dumb move to go out and do that. should have gone to the police. And
I mean,
now,
the police, if you get stupid, don't they put it straight away on a radio show?
No,
Which
but
it goes back to Paul's video, which I thought he explained it very clearly what he said.
I watched these videos and I put thumbs up to it because it was just what you said was right. You don't go to a radio show and publish it over radio.
Yeah,
totally, you're right, and the fact as well that look, I was going to say he just left it wide open, and another thing is as well about the death threats. Where's the evidence for the death threats? Where are the evidence that Bruce has been getting death threats? Where's the evidence? We haven't seen the evidence.
Just like Paul said, the worst it got was the amount you got threatened that you wish that you could die of COVID. Well, but my honest, that's not a death threat. It's not a death threat. You've got
to be careful because people have died of COVID. That is the thing.
Yeah. But it is horrible to see something like that. But it's not an outright saying I wish you to die.
Oh no, definitely not. That's the thing. If it is true, then people ought to be ashamed of themselves who have really done that.
Yeah, they're not really Newcastle fans, are they?
No, scumbags, glory hunters, whatever you want to call them. Brian James says, Jones is the only person who has motivated the team stand there. Steve Bruce stands there absolutely clueless. Well, I totally agree. Just standing hands in your pockets. That's not representing a manager. No chance it is. I think I've never witnessed a manager. I don't think I've ever witnessed a manager in my life who stands there, hands in his pockets. And it's like, if he can't be arsed half the time.
But that's what Steve McLaren used to do. He used to stand there with his hands in his pockets.
Thing is, McLaren, I don't know. Thing is, with McLaren, his team selections were totally shocking half the time. And he did have a lot to spend in one season, but still got relegated. That was the thing. But Bruce is definitely up there with Steve McLaren as in terms of
that's what I'm trying to do.
Worst managers easily.
Yeah, him and Carver.
John Carver. My God, that was a nightmare appointment as well.
Kinnear.
Shorty says Steve Bruce can't be backed anymore. 17 tells us everything. The club have gone backwards. Just nail a spot on there, Shorty. So far, we have gone backwards at this point.
Bang on the money.
Yep. Oh, Brian says David's got a point about family and death threats. Yep. As the thing is just saying on which is the one you've got to believe. Bruce has been lucky to survive. I think without COVID, he'd be sacked. Well, if fans went to grounds,
it would be toxic. Yeah. It would be. That ground would be toxic.
To be pointing the finger at him and said, "Time to go, sunshine," massively, easily.
The thing is, though, as well, I mean, Steve Bruce, I said earlier on, he's just got a big ego, he's got thick skin, right? And I agree, if the fans in the stadium, he'd be gone, I'm telling you. And they make sure of that. Because not just to be threatening him, they'd be threatening his family. I don't want that for him at all whatsoever, you know?
Yep. He says Steve McLaren TV me, or he was terrible, like Steve McLaren.
Was.
Right, it says, I remember Johan Kebab. Oh, that was Joe Kinnear, that.
Who wasn't who got Charles and Dogby, that's name wrong?
It was Joe Kinnear as well. Charles Insomnia.
Was that Joe Kinnear as well?
Sure, he says John Carver just wow.
Thumbs up, done it.
We've had some bad managers.
Yeah. I mean, we look at the bad managers like Bruce, Carver, McLaren, right?
Had some stinging managers at this football club.
Your career.
Yes, well, and
sure, he said John Carver just wow. 8 games in a row lost. My God.
Actually, he's always figured his managers in that. Simple as that. So
the clueless board. Shai says Steve Bruce won't leave because he's getting paid a good wage. Nobody will refuse. Yeah. That's probably why Steve Bruce is still here at the
and plus
moment.
he's a Geordie as well, isn't he?
Well,
Apparently.
joking here. Sure you are. Joking here. My God, joking here.
Crazy, man.
I'm trying to think of who else we've had.
Aussie Ardiles, maybe.
Right, says, and out under Cashley, we've had the worst of the worst. Yeah. Well, we've had 2 relegations
I think
under Mike Ashley.
I think the only two decent ones we've had was Kevin Keegan and I would say Rafael Benitez.
Bobby Robson, maybe.
No, that wasn't under. I'm just mentioning under likes of Mike Ashley.
Oh, Bobby Robson. Kevin, yeah, I know what you mean. I totally agree. I mean, Rafa Benitez was quality. I know people's going to say that they want to have him back because it doesn't work at a certain time. I mean, Sharky agree as well, but I'll take him back tomorrow.
Yep. Charlie says Mike Ashley needs to push through with the takeover. Well, yeah, if this is true, if we can still get this possible takeover to happen, well, we'll wait and see. I believe there's something could be in this possible takeover.
There's another company after, you know, there's an American company.
Well, we'll wait and
that was
see.
on Google.
Not being funny, but if it's that Singapore company, forget them. Ain't gonna happen. Won't happen because the only deals on the table and it's in town to Saudis. That's it.
Yep.
Look, you know what I want? I want the Saudis like.
Oh, corner Ryan Bruce is over 40 million quid. Wow.
What?
40 million quid. Wow. Shirty says, I'm sick of selling our better players rather than push for the top 10. Well, yeah, I agree. It's all about being about profit at this club half the time. Selling our better players like the likes of Demba Ba, Johan Kabay, you name it. Every other player we've sold. That was sold quality of this football club. And it's just been all about bloody profit half the time. He also says set on mid-table every season is a sting and joke. Well, that is the thing. We should be always aiming for mid-table, having relegation battles just stay in the Premier League. We could do better than that massively. But it's just the board just didn't see that half the bloody time.
We got better. So we got better players in a minute. I mean, a decent manager will got us into the top 10 finish, you know.
Steve Bruce, as I just mentioned, is not the answer.
But did you hear Jamie Carragher the other week when we were playing? I don't know who we were playing again. We were playing someone, and Jamie Carragher was in the studio. And he said that Newcastle isn't a big club no more. We're bigger than Liverpool.
Well,
bigger than Liverpool.
I think Liverpool. Well,
we was bigger than Liverpool.
Not now, we're not.
It's just every time under this ownership, we'll just keep going backwards every time. Right, says I'd have Rafa over any manager. I would have Rafa back instantly. Give him a proper budget.
It's not going to happen in over Ashley, was it?
Yeah, but if we've got to take over, you never know. Because we got Cashley. Well, yeah, exactly. Apparently 11 to 17th is acceptable. It's not at all. Exactly. We can aim higher than that easily. The players we've got, but it's when you've got a manager who's got dinosaur tactics, who's got no bloody tactics at all. And it's just...
like I said to you before Dave came on, yeah? We finished 10th. We got back to the best.
And majority of that squad was a championship squad.
I know. It is a championship squad. And then people say, you can't say that because it's a championship squad. Do you know what I mean? Listen, the squad now aren't good enough. Some of these players need to can.
Not one of them. Apart the only ones who are decent at the club, I would say, is Callum Wilson, St. Maximan, Mickey, and Fraser.
Yeah.
And Dubravka.
Yeah, Dubravka. I mean, I think Hayden, you probably could see is getting up there.
Hayden, sorry, I missed him.
Shelby, I think, has gone down over. Lascelles, he's not a captain.
I don't know what to say to him.
Fernandez. Do you know what? I might include. I'll include Fernandez.
Oh, Fernandez and Shaw in Clark.
Yes. The rest of them.
They're abysmal.
Aren't good enough. We need change in the summer. Starts from the manager, and the new manager come in. We'll have to say, look, I want to do things my way. I want your help.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it should all be about.
And he may as well just have my cashy manager in the club himself. You know what I mean? He's not going to back.
It's edgy to back him as well.
Aye, exactly. I mean, to be fair, I think a decent manager could get us close to it. Yep, easily. He's got tactics, know what they're doing. Can certainly get the players up for a game. Just anyone but Steve Bruce, who's got tactics and know what the bloody doing half the time. Because, sure, he says, I would take Ronald McDonald. Probably could do a bloody job than what Bruce does, Ronald McDonald. Right, says, lol, get free burgers. Yeah, man.
Bruce would love that.
Yeah. So, I was going to say, score predictions for Monday, lads.
Depends on the tactics, but at the stage, I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea. I'm sorry to say.
I think a lot of people are going to go for Chelsea because they're at Stamford Bridge, and what record at the Bridge is not very good. You could say, David, you say you're feeling optimistic?
I am, but now I'm fearing the 5 at the back lock.
Well, we'll wait and see. Hopefully not. I mean, if we're working on something that's working, more than attacking formation, you never know.
Yeah, but if he plays 5 at the back, I'm going 3-0 Chelsea. But if he doesn't play if he doesn't play 5 at the back, I'm going 2-1 Newcastle.
Ryan says it's going to be 3-1 to Chelsea. Well, again, it's a lot of people are favouring Chelsea to get the win. Shorty also says, thanks for a good stream tonight, PH. Cheers, man. And thanks very much for tuning in as well, Shoggy. Really appreciate it. Shorty's going for a 1-1 draw. I know you said that in your preview. Samuel says 1-1. He thinks it's going to be a draw.
I'll take a point.
Chelsea to win 3-1. Yeah, no, I knew what you meant there, Ryan. So, well, yeah, a lot of people are going to go for Chelsea to get the win because they're raw at home, and the record against us at Stamford Bridge is it is really good. That's the thing.
I'll take a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. No.
Yeah. Shai says, I want to give the lads a chance to stay positive. Well, you do. That is the main thing you really, really want to do. I hope Graeme Jones is out on the touchline as well, helping them to give instructions out to the players as well.
Not on the stands like Crystal Palace.
John, what do you think as well?
Sorry, I've used to be on a touchline anyway. Graeme Jones, he's assistant manager, isn't he? And basically, he's got to be there, giving instructions to the players as well, you know. So, yeah.
If Steve Bruce is clueless and the board have hired in Graeme Jones for a reason,
would it not be better off sacking him, sacking Bruce, sack him, and then getting Jones to the end of the season?
To the end of the season, at least, and see what he can do. And if we're going to take over or not.
They brought in Jones, so the fans can keep quiet on sacking Bruce. That's what they brought him in for.
Yeah, exactly.
To see if he could help Bruce.
Yeah.
And then he goes and sticks him in the stands.
Exactly.
Because he's showing them up.
Ego.
Aye.
Very worrying.
Yeah, Shotty says, good night, lads. Take care, keep it tuned. Well done, man. Again, mentioned. Thank you very much for coming in there for tonight. Do check out Tune TV on YouTube. Do help him subscribe to him. He's on to the next target, 3,700. But I believe his next big target is to get to 4,000 subscribers. Help him on the way to there. You would really appreciate it massively.
I like Shoggy. He's a good lad.
He is.
Right, Sweetie says, I won't be surprised with the lucky win. Bruce says a great look, if nothing else. Well, we'll wait and see. We'll just wait and see, I suppose, on Monday when it happens. I mean, it's definitely going to be very tough down there. And right, Sweetie says, take care, Shoggy. Yeah, so, well done. Anyway, lads, well then, I don't think there's any more comments coming, so I think I'll wrap up the stream up there for tonight. So, thank you very much, lads, for coming in. Thank you very much, David.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much, John Sinclair. Thank you very much, man. And catch you on Tuesday.
You too. Come. I'm in.
Be prepared for them quests, for those thingies. Where's Joe?
Hey, get it in, man. Oh, have a good one, man.
Cheers very much, John. Please do subscribe to John's channel, John Sinclair TV. Just did over 400. Help him progress even further. You would really appreciate that. Thanks very much, John. Now I'll just read for some more comments before I just wrap it up there now. Shaggy says, you're all good, lads. Take care, Ryder. Thanks, Pierre. As I mentioned, anytime, man. Shaggy, great to have you on. Samuel says, cheers, anytime, man. And Ryan says, cheers, PD and lads. Yes, thank you very much for your comments in the live chat. Well then, guys, that is it for tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for those who tuned in, even though, and also who've also put your comments in the live chat as well. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Catch me after the game on Monday for me quick thoughts. But also, I could could do a FIFA video tomorrow, but I'll wait and see. But if I don't do that, be definitely after the game against Chelsea. Hopefully, we can get something positive against them. We'll just wait and see. It is going to be tough, but hopefully we can hope for a positive result down there. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like. Please comment if you enjoy the stream. And please, if you haven't checked me out, please do hit the subscribe button. Help me on the road to 1,000 subscribers as well. Really appreciate that. And if you could help me towards that. And thank you very much. Until next time, take care. See you all later.